You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, dying on the beat.
Ay, I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups.
so many ups.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Ay, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
How you gonna come in coughing?
Man, my throat is still with that
You
cough.
just don't want to tell y'all. I'm snitching.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Marlandon? Look at him. He's messy. He's over here. I'm waiting on y'all to talk about who the fuck's out there.
I've been waiting for this one.
I told Soonie, I said, this story has summoned the entire hood, okay?
Really
Listen,
did.
y'all are cutting up on TikTok with this story. Because all of a sudden, everybody has dated Legion. Everybody's got an experience with him. Everybody's an expert on the situation. TikTok
Everybody's
is
an
wild.
expert on narcissism. That's another thing I kind of want to bring up. Like,
Yeah.
I get narcissism is a kind of like a pervasive thing, but everybody and their mama got it. Like, all y'all got it.
Oh, is that what's
Everybody
happening?
has it.
Everybody's
Dude.
diagnosed as narcissist?
So before this whole thing came out, there was she's a YouTuber. She's light skinned. She's literally a man hater. One day we can react to one of her videos, but she's like literally a man hater. Guys, do us a favor while we're just talking and doing an introduction. Can you please share this live? This is not our normal time where we go live. Let people know that we're live. Some people do not get notifications. I've been told this by at least 10 people. They don't get notifications until after our show is done. What? YouTube, you're bugging. So do us a favor. Share this. Let people know we're live. I'm about to go live on Instagram right now. So that notification should be going out. Boom. But I can't remember her name, this YouTuber that I'm talking about. But she harps on narcissism 24/7. And she always talks about mama's boys and how mama's boys somehow just have this inherent trait of narcissism. Swear. If you guys know who I'm talking about, please drop her name in the comment section. This topic has run its course. And Legion, you brought it back. And I'm really mad at you because now women are back on their platforms talking about how narcissistic men are and how most of them are pathological liars. That's what I've been seeing on my feed. I don't know about you, but this is just what's been on my feed lately. YouTube, Instagram, pretty much TikTok too. And I don't even get on TikTok like that, but
I had to stay away from TikTok because every single thing, and I'm not on TikTok a lot, but like I was on there for this reason. Every single thing is about this story. And like, I even asked my daughter, who she's all over the TikToks all the time. I'm like, you haven't heard about this? And she was like, no. And she's like, probably now that you mentioned it, it's going to show up. But let me just tell y'all how I heard about it. Okay. So I wake up in the morning, as I usually do, and there's a little message from Soonie. And she's like, bruh. She's like, you need to watch this, right? So, and you guys, by the way, if y'all want us to talk about this some more, I'm just going to give you a little background. We're going to tease you with this conversation, and then I'm going to tease you with some other stuff. But y'all better get active in the comments and hype us up to talk about this because like I said, our stream, or like Soonie said, our stream is getting suppressed, and the comments and the likes are the only thing that's going to save it. Okay. So I get the message from Soonie, and she's like, bro, you need to watch this. I click on it because I had not heard of this. And I see that the first video she sent me was something like 4 hours long. And I was like, dude, Soonie's tripping. I can't even get her to watch like one testimony of a trial. Okay. She'd be skipping through it. And I was like so mad because I was like, you know what? I bet you Soonie said this to me. She knows I'm going to watch the whole thing. So she's going to use me for all the information. And then she probably just like skip through it to the highlights or watch some little clips. Right. So I'm like, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to watch the first 5 minutes and then I'm just going to kind of hop around and see what's up. When I tell you, I thought it was 5 minutes, and I look up and I had been on that video for 3 hours. I am not even lying you. I mean, I was held captive, as many of you guys probably were. I was held captive by this story because I couldn't believe what I was listening to. I couldn't believe this is the world we live in now, that that this is how people are making millions of dollars, okay? By basically just exposing, and I know you're probably going to hate me for this, not you. I know you're not, but the people listening are probably going to be like, "Oh, she's the victim." No, she's not. No, she's not. And I'm going to side with Charlemagne the God on this one. This is some big back behavior. And if you don't know what we mean by that, stay tuned.
Stick around. Stick around. We got a lot of topics, y'all.
Yeah,
that topic.
I'm still not seeing comments.
I see a few comments popping up. There's some comments on Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's up, Cash? I see you in the comment section. We also are going to talk about Wendy Williams, which I'm going to be honest, I was opposed to watching this documentary.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely just do not like her as a personality. I don't find her content enticing or interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But her story is what I found interesting. What she is going through is what I found interesting. And it's quite scary. There's a bigger discussion to be having outside of Wendy Williams. It just so happens to be happening to Wendy Williams. If you guys haven't watched the documentary, go watch it. It's actually a really good documentary. I watched all 4 parts in one day.
I can't wait to hear what you think on this, because we haven't spoken since you started watching it, because Soonie sent me another message and she's like, "All right, I'm on this Wendy Williams. I'm watching it." And I was like, "For real?" I got so excited.
I did watch it. Oh God! Someone says, "Is Wendy Williams? Was she a she or her? He, her?"
Okay. Come on now, y'all! Don't be cruel.
It's not cruel. If you can say that Michelle Obama's a man, then they can question whether that's a man or a woman.
Listen, I can pull up a picture. I can pull up a picture of Wendy Williams pregnant.
Is big and brolic. I'm just saying.
I can pull up a picture of her pregnant, though. I can't pull up a picture of Michelle pregnant. That's the problem. She is
What's
big.
Up, Desiree?
She's a big woman. Yeah,
that's a big woman.
Mm-hmm.
She a little, not plump, but she big.
Yeah, but she's
tall.
I think she's like 6'1". She's a very tall woman.
Yeah,
and I was looking back at some of her stuff, and she's really gone up and down in size for sure. But I mean, Wendy's had her struggles with drugs and alcohol, and that'll do it to you. That will do it to you. So
absolutely. So we got Wendy Williams. We got a few other political discussions. We want to briefly touch on the caucus. Only 2 of them. And when I say brief, I mean very brief. Do not look for an in-depth discussion, because I don't got it for y'all.
The caucus?
I really don't. Yes. The Republican caucuses that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a very short discussion. I think we both individually have some videos we are going to react to. Those are my topics. I'm not going to tell my topics. I'm going to hide my topics.
Yeah.
You can't know them. I even sent them to myself so you wouldn't see them.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? Oh, let me just tell you guys really quick the other topic. So we're going to talk about, obviously, the news on Mitch McConnell. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because I saw DC Drano, post. He was like, "We got him, y'all. We did it." And I was like, What did we do?
What did we do?
Yeah,
he's old.
Yeah, the influencers are taking credit for Mitch McConnell taking a step down or whatever. So we'll talk about that.
Help us.
I know, but I love to call them out. Then I've got Kamala Harris, because we haven't talked about her in a little while. Anyways, she said they are now, and you know what I'm mad about? I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we'll get into the topic more. So the Democrats are now going to pay, they came up with this idea, college students to register voters, which, say what you want about the Democrats, I think it's a brilliant idea, and why Republicans didn't get on top of this And I'm not giving Kamala the credit for this brilliant idea. She definitely didn't come up with this on her own. But but even still, like, why weren't we doing this type of stuff? I mean, I know they were always doing like the rock the vote type of thing, but pay them to do it. That's pretty genius.
Yeah.
That's pretty genius.
I was just watching, you know, it's wintertime is ratchet season. I don't know if you guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
The TV, what do you call them? The TV networks, they put all the ratchet shows on literally from September to damn near February, March, because that's when everybody's home. They're watching something, not really out and about. And I had saw that on Love and Hip Hop. They had Yandy Smith and Until Freedom, Tamika Mallory. They were on the show doing Rock the Vote, and they paid all those celebrities to come out. So I think it's a good idea if you want people to come out and you want people to dedicate their time, especially to the, you know, your back and forth politics, these flip-flopping ass politicians. You have to pay me to come and give my voice to anything. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So shout out to them. Brilliant idea. We need to do Rock the Vote on this side. We need to do something. We over here struggling big time.
Another person who may seem like he's struggling because he got let go from his job, but he ain't, is Don Lemon, from CNN.
Oh yeah, did he get 24 mil?
Yeah, he got $24.5 million in his separation, so he's set. You know what I mean? You know, he ain't crying right now. He ain't crying.
Pretty out there.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he won. Okay.
White supremacy won.
Exactly. If we can get to it, and y'all, Soonie probably won't be able to stay the whole time, but we're gonna get as far as we can. I wanted to post this. I wanted to show a video of a congresswoman, Katie Porter, who made it like a really controversial statement in some type of hearing, or she was giving an interview or something like that, and it was in regards to labeling or. She said, a pedophile, it's like their identity or something like that. It was some like crazy ass statement. Anyways, the internet is trying to fact check it and say that her comments were taken out of context, but they were not taken out of context. And I went back and actually read like the whole thing, what she said, and they're trying to spin it to say that we take it out of context, but we ain't taking it out of context. Okay. And then the Reesa Tessa, whatever her name is, who the F did I marry? Who the F did I marry? We're gonna talk about that. And first, before we start with anything, I have to show Soonie this video because Soonie was talking about the Houston woman that got shot by the Harris County police in her apartment. Yeah. I got a video I don't think Soonie has seen. I talked about this on last week's show, and Soonie wasn't here, and we didn't get to hear Soonie's thoughts on it. But I want to give her like a real quick catch up from what I said last week, and then I want to play this video because I'm dying to see her reaction. Okay, now, Soonie, I'm going to ask you a favor before we do that because I was just thinking about something. Our viewership here is really low. Nobody over here can see the comments from Instagram, and we don't get paid on Instagram. So can I ask you to cut the Instagram feed and tell everybody from Instagram to come on over to the YouTube channel?
Sure. If you guys, do I have the link in my bio? Here, let me do this real quick.
I mean, it's in our stories.
Is it? I don't ever drop the link in my stories. I just reshare what you post. To be honest with you.
Oh, damn.
So before I do that, I'm going to put the YouTube link in my bio so that you guys can come and continue and watch the show if you're watching live on Instagram. Give me 2 seconds. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. I can't stand Kelly Clarkson.
She's
another one of those singers that just fucking yell at you. Like, I can hear you. You don't have to yell in my ear.
Yeah. She's like Christina Aguilera. She got to scream too.
I can tolerate that. Like her and Fantasia, bro. They like to holler at you.
Oh, but I love Fantasia. All right, y'all. Y'all on Instagram are about to get cut off. So come on over. Soonie's posting the link. If you don't want to wait for the link, you can go over to Somewhere in the Middle USA on YouTube. Yep. And you can watch it there. And you're probably going to want to subscribe to that because while streaming it on Instagram sounded like a good idea, I think it's taking from our YouTube stream, which is more important. So if y'all want to come over, actually, if you guys want to hear what we have to say, link is in my bio. You got to go. All right. She put the link in the bio. So head on over there and click the link. And let's cut the feed soon. Okay. So Soonie, you had talked online about the Texas woman in Houston, Texas, that was mistaken as an intruder and shot by the Harris County police. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that don't know this story or what happened, a woman, this is quite comical actually to me, the more I think about it. So a woman was going up to her apartment at 2 a.m. with her friend. Her friend's name is Ebony. Both of them are big backs. Okay. Let's just put that out there right now. Both of them. Okay. And this is important to the story. I'm not being mean. It's important to the story. Okay. And the reason why it's important, you're going to hear in a second. So these two go up the stairs and Ebony is the friend. Okay. She doesn't live at the apartment complex. And I forget the other girl's name, but she goes, "Oh, damn, I forgot my key." Now, apparently, according to the press conference she gave, she often forgot her key and would lock herself out of her apartment. Now, when you were not here last week, me and the detectives on the show, the Bureau investigation over here in the comments section, we did some heavy deep digging into the footage because they gave us a tour of the apartment. And what we discovered was a big question of, well, if she forgot her key, how did the door to the apartment get locked? Okay. Mm-hmm. That was my question. We confirmed there was no fancy lock where you could code or anything like that. Okay. It was just a regular schmegular lock. Second of all, when they realized they did not have the key, Ebony's friend says, the owner of the apartment, "Oh, well, I always break the window. Let's just do that. And you, Ebony, climb through the window and open the door for us." So that's what she did. Okay. Now, the Harris County police just happened to be in the apartment complex for a totally unrelated incident, another call-in of a suspected robbery. They get another call from somebody else in the apartment complex about what's going on over here at this apartment. And the caller says, "I think somebody broke into this apartment because the window's broken." Okay. So the police go rushing over there. They walk up to the apartment. Two women walk up the stairs, can see inside the apartment. There's a little bit of light in the apartment. They can see that the window is broken. They knock on the door and announce themselves. Nobody comes to the door. So the police start to back up and they're looking through the window. And one of the police officers sees somebody walking towards the door and they had a weapon in their hand. It is confirmed they had a weapon in their hand. Okay. So the police shoot a heck of a lot of times. Okay. This whole entire apartment was riddled with bullets. Now, luckily, there was a child that lived in the apartment. The child was not harmed. Unfortunately, Ebony was shot. Okay. She wasn't killed, but she was shot. Ebony said the bullets missed all her internal organs, and y'all about to see why in just a second. Y'all about to see why in just a second. Okay. So we found a lot of inconsistencies when Ebony's friend started to detail the story. Okay. First, Ebony was badly shot. Next thing she says is she told Ebony to call the police. Okay. Why that doesn't make sense is because she also said at the beginning of the press conference, they didn't have a cell phone, which is why they had to break the window. So me and the Bureau found a lot of inconsistencies in their story. Well, today I found a video where Miss Ebony has spoken out. Okay. Ebony is the one that crawled through the window. Now, when I say they broke the window, y'all, this window has 4 window panes. Okay. I don't think me or Soonie could get through 2 of the window panes. Maybe Soonie could. I sure couldn't. Now, when y'all see Ebony, who is the one that went through the window, and when you hear what she has to say, Soonie, I want you to tell me how this is possible. Okay. Something ain't adding up here. Comment section, I want you to weigh in because y'all were excellent with me last week when we did the investigations. All right. Here she is. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? Do I have the audio? It was working earlier. Damn, Ebony. Hold up. No, my volume's good. Hold on, y'all.
Why does Jay-Z look like Baphomet? That's funny.
Why is it not working?
He looks like the camel from the pack of cigarettes.
Who does?
Jay-Z.
Oh.
Camel man.
Damn. This was working earlier. I previewed it.
I think
Soonie, what's going on? Dude, the sound is important.
I'm traumatized.
Oh, here we go. It's silent in the beginning. Here we go, okay? Now, beware, okay?
I'm traumatized.
Ben Crumpet.
I'm heartbroken. I feel stripped of my identity. And I would like for them to not just be placed on administrative leave. I don't think they deserve to have badges. I don't think protocol was followed that night or morning. I have a baby, a beautiful baby girl. She knows that I'm not able to do the things I was able to do before. And I'm not able to be as attentive with my baby. She's only 1. So
I don't see no tears.
That's probably the hardest part. I started seeing holes in the walls as I was standing there. And then I realized there was something coming through the apartment. I thought it was something outside, but it was something coming from outside to inside. I see blood, not necessarily wounds. I see blood everywhere.
I know it's hard, but you speaking up really matters. We all know that every American citizen right now is keenly aware of their Second Amendment rights. And their right to their arms, to have a gun, to protect their home, to protect themselves. Ebony was a law-abiding American citizen. Black people have a right to the Second Amendment as well.
Oh my God.
Why is it a presumption that we, don't have a right to the Second Amendment?
That's not what happened.
Reminds you of the tragic killing of Breonna Taylor. Where
it fucking does.
I know?
A law-abiding, gun-registered citizen, and yet the police busted in their
ambulance chaser is what they use.
Killing Breonna.
Ambulance.
All right, so both officers have been placed on administrative leave. Now, let me show you.
Somebody called the ambulance.
Somebody called the ambulance, okay? Now, I want to remind y'all who have not seen the video, okay? So this is Ebony's friend that was with her. She's the owner of the apartment. Now, y'all remember last week, if y'all were with me last week, we
good Lord.
We went through the footage, okay? So this is where me and the Bureau of Investigation went through the footage, okay? So here's what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Here's the window, okay? let's just say, because it's hard to tell which window, but when they're inside the apartment, the lawyer points to this window pane as the window that she broke. Okay, so we're to assume that the other windows were broken from the bullets. Okay, either way, there is no window, like this right here is intact. So that woman, Ebony, would have had to have crawled through one of these. I don't even know how it's possible. Okay. So, second of all, Marlanda said it. See, there you go. There's the window right here. So this is the one that's fully broken out. So you trying to tell me that girl climbed through this little window? It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, she probably opened the window. She probably broke the window, unlocked it, opened it, and got in.
I don't know. I mean,
listen,
window
opens.
Right, but my window, like, it clips at the top unless it's already done, but I got to push it up. Anyways, regardless, even if she opened the window, it looked like it would have been difficult. I'm not gonna contest that. Her tears look fake as hell. Okay, the story that these two are telling, at least the other one that gave the press conference, is not adding up. Something, and it doesn't help that Ben Crump is on the case. This is my thing. It doesn't help that Ben Crump, like, if you want your shit to be taken seriously, do not hire Ben Crump. That's all I got to say, because he discredits the whole situation. He's an ambulance chaser, like you said. Now, I don't think this had to do anything with race or a Second Amendment right. The only thing I will say is the amount of bullets that were shot into the apartment, I don't understand.
Sorry. Whew. Jeez. That was a big one. Sorry. Yeah. I really don't know what else to say other than what I've already said. Police had probable cause to arrive to that apartment the way they did. Now, what's going to be in question is the 2 rounds each that they emptied into the door. I think Crump did have an amazing point when he said, we're allowed to answer our door with a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True.
And I get police officers are coming to a scene that has already been presumed a break-in, whether active or already happening. So they're going to come to the scene with some sense of heightened alert. But there's a discussion that needs to be had. It's either we're not allowed to open our doors with weapons and we leave ourselves vulnerable, or they need to assess or do something more other than immediately shoot. And I don't think they gave her the opportunity to react. Now, some people will say, well, Soonie, they don't know if this person is an intruder, a criminal coming to kill them. They have no clue. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But this wasn't a woman who was robbing anything. This is a woman who was at her friend's house who legally owned a gun that ended up shot multiple times. Could have resulted in death. Thank God that it didn't. But where's the middle ground here? Why is it justified or justifiable in the eyes of the law for this to happen? Now, it should, maybe jail time is too much. Jail time is too much. But I do believe something needs to happen, because I can't even count on how many times now. A lot of these stories don't make the news. Someone is not aware that police are knocking on the door, right? Because, this is how we used to say it when I was growing up. You knocking on the door like you the police. That means somebody bamming on the door, trying to get you to open the shit up. And usually when that happens, you have a sense of like, what the hell? Who is knocking on my door like this? Why are you knocking like you the police? Right. So somebody's going to come to the door with the weapon. This is now the second one that's been televised where someone has been shot. The first one was Ryan Whitaker. He was murdered at his front door, surrendering to cops, by the way. And there's the excuse given, well, cops have an instant to act. Well, in an instant, someone who's a legal gun owner coming to the door, just answering the door, is dead. And there's no repercussions for that. And thank you. That was my next point. Another thing people aren't factoring in, and I believe law enforcement is not factoring this in either, Anybody can come to your door, bam on it, and say police. Who's to say it's actually police officers? We live in a world where people are crafty. They like to rob you, and they like to get it done quick and efficiently. They know you'll open up the door if it's police, especially if you're in a certain area. Why aren't any of these things factored in? Why is it just automatically the person is guilty, the cops are justified? I'm not anti-police. I'm just asking the hard questions that anybody's going to start asking at this point.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to be afraid to go to their doors and defend their homes at this point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a lot of those points you and I spoke about. Damn, my video seems like it's lagging. A lot of those points you and I spoke about, and I agreed on a lot of them. I actually agree on all of them, actually, everything that you said. I think my issue with this particular story is definitely not how the police we agree on how the police handled this one. But the inconsistencies in how they are telling things is what concerns me, right? The saying that the police didn't announce themselves when they did, the video showed it that they did. The fact that the window was open and the porch light was on, like if you're coming to the door with a gun and your window's open and your blinds were kind of up, you can't. I mean, I would have been able to see. Those look like police officers to me because they backed away from the door and they were in front of the window. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe from the inside of the apartment it looks different. But there's just, I don't know if you saw the press conference video that she gave, but there's just inconsistencies in that story for me. Not that I'm not believing, but I feel like
I got you.
There's something more to that story.
I don't know. I think people feel this way because of situations like Breonna Taylor. They're comparing it to that. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot first. That's why cops did what they did.
Yeah.
We can get into the subject of, well, they didn't attain this no-knock warrant in a legal manner. Everyone knows that. That has already been put under scrutiny. It's already been exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot compare apples to oranges here, in my opinion. I didn't know. Everything you showed me, I watched. I didn't find any discrepancy.
Really?
We're listening to two different perspectives. We're listening to all the only thing we have body cam footage of is police. We have no clue what those women heard inside. We have no clue how they reacted. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm upstairs, and this is just putting my husband actually just really reamed this into my head, right? Sometimes you have to just listen and try to put yourself in that person's shoes. If I'm upstairs, I can't hear someone saying who was at the door. You can't. Mm-hmm. Everyone has lived in a second story home where you've been upstairs, someone's ringing the doorbell. You might yell, "Who is it?" And you can't hear the response. There's a door there.
But this is a one-story, very tiny apartment. Like, I want to say it was maybe like 700 something square feet.
Even so, if I'm at the back of my apartment, this is my question. Why is there an automatic assumption that I heard it's police? What if I didn't? What if I did not hear it's police and I came to my door because you're knocking like the fucking police and what's up? Who are you? To me, a lot of the times we give cops the benefit of the doubt. Now, they did announce themselves, but we're also casting doubt on someone else's story, saying, well, they announced themselves and you still came to the door this way. Do we really believe this big back woman with a 1-year-old child is going to come to the door in a threatening manner to do something to police officers?
I don't think she was coming to do something, and it's a very probable assumption to say they didn't know that it was police, right? My next question is, what, and not that this even really plays a part in it, but I always take into account the character of people, right? What else are you involved in? That you so scared of somebody knocking? Because I'll tell you what, I had somebody come knock on my door like that, and it scared the crap out of me. I was here by myself. It was late at night, and I looked through the window and there was nobody there. Okay. And then it came back again. So I called the police and I asked them to do a patrol around the neighborhood. Well, we have weapons in this house, right? So when the police came knocking at my door to check on me, I notified the police officer that we have weapons in this house. And I'm in Texas. I'm in the same, state that these ladies are in. I notified we have weapons in this house. Okay. Out of common courtesy. Now I didn't
called. They didn't.
Right. But I called and I didn't say come to my door. I just called and said, hey, I think there's somebody knocking on doors. Can you guys do like a little patrol and just make sure that nobody's walking around, going on to people's doors. I didn't say, because they ask you, do you want them to call you? Do you want them to come to your house? I said, I don't need anybody to come to my house. I just want them to patrol. I live on a small street. But yeah, I mean, I told the police we have weapons in this house. I didn't come to the door with my weapon. And you see what I mean? Like there's a difference. Yes, you can have a weapon in Texas. It is legal to have a weapon in Texas, but there's also a way to handle that, because you answer the door with the gun in your hand, it's now going to create a certain type of situation. So you know that, right? So you walk with the gun to the door maybe, and you put the gun maybe to the side or behind you as you check out the situation. But to just aimlessly walk through your house with the window open, knowing that somebody's banging on your door, whether it's the police or who else, you're putting yourself in a situation. If it were not the cops and it were somebody bad, that could have created a firestorm.
Good. At that point, good. You have a way to defend yourself. Good. And this is making that they didn't call the police. These women did not call. The cops were there for another call in which they cleared. They were then flagged down by a neighbor to say, hey, somebody's breaking into this house. They see broken glass, which is why I said that gives them probable cause. This is also mentioned in the press release.
Yeah.
It would be different if they called. If they called the police and then came to the door with a weapon, okay. But the fact that they didn't call, the fact that they are saying, I didn't know it was police, the fact that it's 2 a.m, you're women, you're by yourself. I think that that's a smart thing to go to the door with your weapon. I'm home alone with my children. I'm coming to the door with my gun cocked. I don't know who you are. You're knocking at my door at 2 a.m. Matter of fact, I'm not even opening it, but I'm still going to have my weapon because who is knocking at my door?
Right. But I would do the same thing, but I would say, identify yourself. I have a Ring camera. I have a peephole. Put your badge up to, or your card, whatever, up to the window. Identify yourself. Okay. I would then go upstairs. Give me a second. I'm about to go upstairs. I'm going to go look out through the window. Make sure there's a police car. That's what I'm saying. Like, but to come to the door just with your gun up like this, like, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I have the weapon. We have it accessible at all times. It's within reach if I need it. But I don't know. That's just my personal, and then coupled with some of the inconsistencies that I found in their statements. I think that there does need to be repercussions for these police officers that definitely did not handle the situation appropriately. And I said last week, this is what comes of diversity hires. Okay. This is what comes of shortened training, because you've got so many officers either quitting or whatever, and you got to get people through the police academy quickly, and they don't get the training they need. Or you have 2 very green cops who happen to be women, and we all know where that leads us, out on a call in a very highly intense emotional situation. So yeah.
You earned the badge. I'm sorry. You earned the badge. I watched that video 5 times. I listened to how afraid they were. She couldn't even properly get out her call to let responding officers know, the operator know.
Yeah.
Shots fired, officer involved shooting.
Yeah.
You unloaded 2 clips each. 2 mags each, because people get mad when you say clips. 2 mags each. And as a result, someone was shot. I think that's the only scrutiny that people with common sense, clearly you're gonna have the race hustlers come in and say Black Americans can't open the door with their weapons. Neither can white Americans. Ryan Whitaker was shot dead in front of his girlfriend. Shot dead. This is on video. And those officers received nothing. They got to go home to their families, and that family is now without a father, without a, son, uncle, cousin, whatever it is. There has to be a better discussion than just, okay, administrative leave. All right, you're back on the job.
Yeah.
And this person, there's lasting effects to when the court case is done with the police officer and with the person who shot, because now you have someone who feels wronged, you have someone who feels like they didn't get any justice, and you have someone who has a nasty taste in their mouth. Like, to me, the conversation stops with the officer involved shooting. Once everybody gets the facts out, once everybody debunks this claim, that claim, conversation stops, and then nobody ever has the conversation that really matters, which is what happens in the aftermath. Because this young woman, whether people believe her or not, she's probably going to have a sour taste in her mouth with police officers. And can you blame her?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was funny because I was telling you when I was trying to look this up, when I saw that you talked about it and I wanted to research it, that particular area, I don't know if it's that particular apartment complex, but for sure that particular area that the Harris County Police serves, super riddled with a lot of these like random shootings, whether it's like people shooting at the police or vice versa. Like I found like several stories that I was like, which story am I looking at? Because these all look the same. It was either like police shoot, random, whatever, or so-and-so shot at police. Like it just seems like it's a bad area in general. So, we've talked about
probably
that
why they came to the door with the gun. That's
right?
That's even a better reason for
True.
That just gives more to their story.
Yeah.
Knocking on my door at 2:00 in the morning. I don't care if I'm in a good neighborhood. You knocking on my door like that at 2:00 in the morning. Somebody getting blasted away.
Right.
I expect a knock like that if one of my children are hurt, or someone is either trying to rob me, or there's really somebody that knows me that is looking for some sort of help. Those are the only three options, or it's the police. Other than that, what you knocking on my door like that for? Like,
why are you knocking like the police?
We're knocking like the police, bro. FBI, open up. What the
heck? Oh my gosh. All right.
The police officers and the young women involved. Seriously. It's a sad situation across the board. I hope they don't lose their jobs, but I hope they are on desk duty from this point on. They don't need to be out and about at all.
Yeah, I agree. We don't need any emotional women out there. Okay. All right, guys. We gonna talk about Reesa Tessa.
Oh Lord.
I don't know. And who the fuck did I marry? Okay, so I don't even know if this is her real name or if this is like
let's pull her picture up. Y'all got to see these two individuals that we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Look at it. We should have named this thumbnail the Big Back Wednesday edition. Okay.
Big Back Wednesdays. What up, Jessica Stamper from Dayton, Ohio. Thanks for watching. Bro.
Yeah, this is the Big Back edition. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna tell, if you guys don't know what this story is, I'm gonna tell you about it, but stare at these two pictures while I tell you about it, okay? What we're talking about here is a viral story that was put on TikTok. And if you want, we can share the link for the full 6 hours. Okay. Because it's a total of 6 hours of footage. Okay. And it's titled Who TF for the Fuck Did I Marry? It's a video series that has taken the internet by storm. Reesa Tessa is the woman you see here on the left. Okay. And she shares her twisting and turning tale about her ex-husband, Legion. That is what she named him. But we now know his real name is Jerome McCoy. Now, Jerome, boy, Jerome is crazy. Oh, Q Erica Badu. You better call.
I think you better call Jerome.
Oh, is it Jerron? I thought it was Tyrone. Same thing.
I said Jerome because that's his name. I think you better call him. Listen, call him.
Yeah.
Call him.
So the article goes on to state anyone who has logged onto social media in the last 2 weeks has likely found it next to impossible to avoid seeing a post after post about this now super viral saga that was originally posted to TikTok before building up steam on other platforms. The series has garnered millions of views and almost a cult following, and that is no exaggeration. Thanks to Tessa's vivid retelling of the Lifetime movie-esque marriage she says she entered into with an alleged scam artist and narcissist during the pandemic. I'm telling you, the pandemic, people can sue over some of the stuff that has happened on the pandemic. It's crazy. The person in question right here that you see on the screen is her now ex-husband, who she nicknamed Legion in the video. And soon the stories of his apparent profile lying turned him into one of the most hated online characters of 2024. Thanks to the intense public interest, a whirlwind of new information has continued to trickle in since the original post, including a response from him. Do you have the response? Is that what you were playing? You want to play that? I do
have the response. You want to play it?
All right, go ahead.
I can't listen. I watched this. I watched all 6 hours.
I can't believe it.
You know my attention span.
If Soonie can watch 6 hours, yeah, you know it was juicy.
Where's the sound at? Where's the sound? Okay, here we go. Listen to this, y'all. Can y'all hear it?
Mm-mm.
We can't hear it.
Lying to y'all.
See?
It's sad because it's completely false of everything. More to the point, I haven't decided who I'm going to talk to exactly or go on whose page or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that she lied about everything. Follow her, don't follow her. That's up to you. All that stuff she said, it's complete lies.
It's complete lies. Everything.
The
700. Listen, if y'all ain't watched it, I think you're gonna pull specific parts out. This story. You know what really got me sucked in?
What got
was
you
the fact
sucked
that she was on there with rollers in her hair. I was like, what is this lady talking about?
Yeah,
that's
so
what got me in.
Mm-hmm, that's how it starts out, and that's exactly why Mo wasn't gonna watch it, because I was like, this is some bullshit. First of all, Reesa, if you're listening, girl, I know you probably didn't foresee this becoming as big as it did, but next time, can you please put your best foot forward? Because that little situation that you started out in your bathroom, and then the rest of the videos actually take place in her car. But she drove all the way to work with her hair like in rollers or whatever.
Rollers.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you guys can see, if you were to search this on the search engines, all right, every mainstream news publication has picked this up. USA Today, NBC News, The Time. Everybody is talking about this story today. Rolling Stone, because of how ridiculously dumb this broad truly is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the angle I want to take, because people are making her out to be a victim, and she is stupid. I mean, with capital letters.
I agree. Stupid. But wait, before we get into the seriousness of it all, can we just go back to his TikTok so people can see how ridiculous it really got? So the minute she dropped her side of the story and people started to figure out who he was and expose him, Lord have mercy. This fool was photoshopping himself, okay, in front of Netflix headquarters. Talk about he said something like, I'm taking a little break from filming right now. And I'm like, first of all, who are you fooling? Okay, she just came out with this story and you're telling me Netflix already set up a deal and already got you over there filming? What? And see, this is why it's summoned the ghetto, okay? Because Like the ghetto woke up like the crypt keeper. Okay, they were like, oh, like they came up, and it's just. And you guys, I know that we say we're not going to give credence to this type of garbage, but we can't help it. Okay, here's the picture. See, play this little video.
Here's
right
the
here.
picture. I'm gonna play this real quick. Watch this.
Hi.
I don't know what the
and
hell's going
welcome.
on.
We all know why you're here. You're here for part of the new series that I am calling Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I'm going to create this playlist series, and I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar. This is my introduction / disclaimer video. First and foremost, I'm going to be truthful, even if it makes me look bad. I'm going to be honest, but I'm also not going to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved. I'm not going to use people's real names because I don't have their permission to do so, and the sister does not want any sort of litigation. I will tell you off the top, I have a sense of humor and I have sarcasm. So things that you see me laughing at, none of this is funny. But in order to get through it, I have to laugh. If I cry, I cry. I'm human. I'm a woman. This was traumatic. I'm going to do the best I can to upload as much of the story as I can, because I know people get so annoyed with the follow for part 4, follow me for part 17. I'm just going to do the best I can to keep uploading the videos each at a time. I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail. So that is a lot of time to cover. Please give me the grace to just get it out. It may not be all in one day. It may not be all in 2 days. But what I can tell you is even if you don't necessarily see a video, I'm probably recording it and then I will upload it into the playlist titled, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? What else do I need to cover ahead of time? Because I feel like this video is important to give some sort of context. So that way, when people jump into the series, they kind of can figure out, oh, let me start at the introduction video and then work my way through. A lot of the questions that you all have sent me will be answered when I start and tell the story in order.
This story is a hot ass mess. I wish I would have gotten specific clips because we've both watched it. So what I think what we should do is have just a conversation the way we did on the phone where we were talking about specific parts in the story that just sent me over the fucking moon. How? I'm a woman. You're a woman. We know when we're being sold BS. We really do. As much as men they can think they can get over, we're not stupid. Reesa Tessa is not stupid. Reesa Tessa thought she was coming into a big fat lump of cash, aka a man that was going to sweep her off her feet so she didn't have to work no more. Because at several points in this story, she talks about how she was excited for a BMW, how she was excited for these fancy houses, all this money. I believe this bitch was in it for money. You didn't marry this dude for love. I know y'all just saw him. Ain't no effing way. I'm shallow. And I know women are shallow. What? Look at this man.
Oh, Lord. Look at them together. It doesn't even make sense. Okay. It doesn't even make sense. Now, first of all, let me back up because where I knew it was a bunch of BS was right away. Okay. And let me tell you why.
I'm here for it.
She met this guy, I think on Tinder or Plenty of Fish or something like that. Plenty of Fish. Anyways, they were talking short time and they decided to go on a date. Okay. Yep. Where does he take her? Cheesecake Factory. Y'all said And I'm going to say the sisterhood said, because it wasn't anybody else, the sisterhood said Cheesecake Factory ain't a date. Okay. Now, I don't know if Reesa Tessa agrees with this, but nevertheless, she was on her way to the Cheesecake Factory in her own car, and she got hit from the back. And she says in the video, she should have known then. That was Jesus trying to tell her, don't go to the Cheesecake Factory, girl. I'm trying to stop you. Okay. He tried to stop her. Yeah. But, okay. And here's where the desperation, and Soonie thinks she used him for money, but I think this just shows how desperate some women are for attention. Okay. Instead of calling a friend she's known for a long time, her dad, her mom, a tow truck, right? A reputable business that she can trust, that their job is to come and help or whatever. She calls this man who she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
To come and rescue her. That's number one that tells me you desperate. Okay. What tells me he's not the one you want to mess with is he came to her rescue immediately.
Yep.
Okay. Came to her rescue immediately. Doesn't know her. Once he got her all set and ready, car, whatever, he got her. They still went to the Cheesecake Factory. And she was so enamored by the fact that he wanted to hold her hand. I'm sorry, but we are meeting for the first time. You are not holding my hand, sir. We are not there yet. That right there should have been her sign that this guy was not all there, because a normal man doesn't do that. Okay. A normal man is not going to grab your hand and hold. I get that maybe in his mind, they were, they went through this like traumatic experience of her accident or whatever.
Yeah.
But she should have known right then and there. He was moving too fast.
Forward.
Too fast.
Forward.
Yeah. And then the pandemic came and they're talking about, oh, well, maybe we should quarantine together. What?
After how many weeks of knowing each other?
Exactly. Like a couple weeks.
They quarantined together.
Right. When they're
not
deciding,
in his house. You know what? Now that you bring that up, she had a problem with his studio apartment.
Too small.
No, we can't stay here. So instead of y'all staying separate and video chatting and, possibly because you can still meet up with each other. It wasn't like people were banned from going to each other's houses. You let this dude move in with you.
Mm-hmm.
What? I agree with you on the desperation part. Yeah. But I also think this is really what I think. He told her off the jump he played arena football. Because remember, before they even met up, they talked on the phone for a couple days.
Yeah.
I think before then, whatever he was telling her signaled dollar signs. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm going to call a spade a spade. Not saying that Mo is not. But this heifer was a gold digger. I don't care what nobody say.
And
he was a gold digger.
He had to have smelled it on her because he knew exactly what to say, right? Obviously living in a tiny little, okay, think about this, Reesa. Girl, come on in, Reesa. Come on in. Come close to the screen. Let me tell you something, okay? If a man lives in a tiny little studio apartment that you don't feel comfortable living in, states that he played arena football, so he has a large amount of cash. He said, I have a large, he had like something like 800, 900 racks, okay, supposedly in his bank account from playing arena football. But yet he lived in a studio apartment, and yet he took her to Cheesecake Factory. How you going to be ex-arena football? How you going to be, $700, $800, $900 racks deep in your bank account, and you're taking me to Cheesecake Factory? I see flags everywhere. Reesa, come on. So they move into her house, and then he starts talking about, well, what do you say? What came first? The offer to buy a house or a car or to get married? Which one came first? I forget.
The car came first.
Mm-hmm.
Then the house came.
Yeah.
Then the marriage. Wait, it was the car, the house, her getting pregnant, then the marriage. So she did everything backwards.
Right.
She let him move in. She got pregnant by him after only knowing him for 2 months. Literally 2 months. He promised her this extravagant car. They went to test drive these cars. He was showing, this man printed out fraudulent documents from employers, from Chase Bank, all these places that he was claiming he had this line of credit. He had this much money to spend. He couldn't go over this. And he's showing this woman like, see, look, I got promoted. And because I got promoted to vice president, okay, when I say she all she saw was dollar signs, bro. She says several times throughout the video, I know y'all, I was stupid, but you know, I just said, well, what if he's telling the truth? You had to psych yourself out of knowing what you actually know, which is trusting your intuition.
Yeah. Yeah. And PS, by the way, Wendy's asking, where can we see it? Wendy, they have now, somebody has uploaded all the TikToks in one full video. So I think it's like 2 parts or whatever. So you can go on YouTube and search it up. And Julius, there's nothing wrong. I love the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. We're just talking about the sisterhood has said that the Cheesecake Factory was no good. No. It's a no. So I don't know why.
It's a red flag.
I don't know why Reesa didn't see it as a red flag. All right. When Soonie says the house, the car, whatever came first, don't mistake what she's saying. Because Miss Reesa never got any of those things, okay? Because 4 hours of her story, okay, is about how Jerome kept making her think she was going to get a car, kept making her think she was going to get a house. But every single time something happened, financing. Oh, they didn't have the color because she wanted cognac colored leather seats in a BMW. Oh, they didn't have that. They were out of stock.
Yep.
Oh, whatever. Oh, and then a trip to Europe. That was the other thing he promised her. Printed out a whole itinerary.
He bought it.
My thing is,
bro, listen. She bought it after. This is after.
Yeah.
You know this man is lying.
Yep.
After you know he's lying, after you know he's telling a bunch of BS, you believe him about taking it was Paris. Are you? How can anybody feel bad for her?
Exactly.
I feel bad for him. Justice for fucking Jerome.
And you still married him after all of those letdowns. You still married him and stayed married for what, 2 years? Oh,
no, they only stayed married for, I think it was 6 months after the fact.
Yeah. And then let me tell you the other part. So early on, before all that happened, Miss Reesa Tessa, by the way, she lets you know from the beginning, she's a Christian. Okay. Soonie just told you she did everything backwards, including getting impregnated by this man. Now, this made me think about, our talk about pro-choice and all this other stuff, because people always wonder, oh, well, will the Lord really take care of things? Like, what if something happens? Here's a good example. Okay. The Lord took care of a situation. Unfortunately, she lost the baby, but not unfortunately, because thank God she did not have a baby with this man. Thank God. So he said, all right, Reesa, I tried to get somebody to hit you from stopping you from going to the Cheesecake Factory. I allowed you to get pregnant with this man's child and get a taste of, is this really what you want? And then I, didn't allow that pregnancy to see, the end. Meanwhile, he's still yelling or lying to you.
Yep.
Okay. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. I lost track of how many times they lied to you.
Repetitively.
And you still went to the courthouse and said, I do. And cried about how he bamboozled you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
So I found the Cliff Notes. If you want to, I sent them to you too. That way we can both share And this will make the story a bit more complete. It'll make it more interesting.
Okay.
So we got past how they met. We got past how they quarantined together after literally, I think it was a week or two, maybe not even a month of knowing each other. He paid for everything in her home. Everything. All of her bills, her phone bill, her rent, everything you can probably imagine.
Tell him your
paid
theory.
For the entire time. I think this ghetto motherfucker got a PPE loan or PPP loan, whatever the hell you call it, was doing some fraudulent stuff with the government and was faking it till he can make it, paying her rent, which is why I also believe she lied to herself in thinking that all these dreams were going to come true, that he was feeding her the car, the house.
Yeah.
All these like lavish, extravagant things.
But I think that so later on, she discovers that he's having extramarital affairs. I mean, what looks like he's talking to hookers, basically. He was talking to hookers. Yeah. So he was paying because they were giving him quotes on the text messages and she saw it. They were like, he was like, how much for a BJ? And she was like, $50. And he's like, how much with no condom? $75. Just imagine, my heart goes out to hookers right now. Okay. Dude. Ladies of the night. Imagine having to get a text from Jerome.
Imagine.
And he wants to pay you so that he could take the condom off.
Nasty bitch. So he paid for everything. So it says he paid for everything except her car note and insurance and phone bill. And she was happy because she never had a man like that. Fast forward, he told her he had 5 siblings, 2 half siblings that he was close with. And he spoke to his brother every day for almost a year and a half. And this is the kicker, okay? He spoke to all of his family members on the phone, allegedly.
Oh, this is the kicker.
Okay. Now, women, please just come alive in this part. If your man is on the phone, I do this all the time. You know what I do? I get real quiet. Who are you talking to? Not that I don't trust my husband, but it's just like, who are you talking to? Or sometimes I'll be like, who was that? And he'll be like, oh, such and such called. But I can hear that he's talking to someone.
Yeah.
This broad never heard another voice on the other side of the phone.
Right.
For a year and a half straight.
Hold on, because my phone ringing real quick. Hello? Oh, hey, what's up, Liddell? Hey, Soonie. Liddell says, what's up?
What's up? What's up, Liddell? How you doing?
Soonie says, what's up? What you doing? Oh, no, we're just doing the show right now. Yeah, hop in the comments. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll call you afterwards. All right, bye. That's how he did it.
For a year and a half straight.
He wasn't talking to nobody.
He never talked to none of the family members. He was talking to no one.
He was talking to no one.
That right there is crazy within itself. How did you not know that he wasn't talking to anybody? You never went to a barbecue. You never met the family. You never talked to any of his siblings. Why would you marry someone when you've never met their family? And what does she blame? What does she blame? Oh, the pandemic.
The pandemic.
And I understood because the pandemic. Are you that stupid? There is a such thing called video chat. Who even talks on the phone anymore? For real, for real.
People were doing FaceTime calls during the pandemic, right? Zoom calls. They were having Zoom parties. Come on, man.
I feel like, you know what? I'm about to be petty. I feel like FaceTiming somebody right now just to show how easy it is. Reesa Tessa, do you know how easy it is to call someone on video chat? I'm about to call my pops. Let me see what my dad doing. Look, it's calling on video. There's my video. You don't want to call?
I want to call. I've been trying to talk to your dad for a while now.
Hi, Dad. Good, I'm live. I was demonstrating how you can call people on video chat and you don't have to like just pick up the phone and pretend to be on the phone. I'm talking about this TikTok story.
What's up?
It's Reesa T. I'm gonna send it to you so you can watch it. Mo said, "What's up?"
What's up, John?
Hey,
I know that's right.
Say hi to my dad, y'all. This is my dad. You see how easy it is to call someone on video? I love you, Dad. Huh? You like it? I know, right? I know. But I love you. What? What? What's up? What? What about Beyonce? Yeah.
See, this is why I love your dad.
Dad.
I know that's right. See?
So you don't think she deserves it? Yes.
If you think about their music and you put them side by side, whose music would you rather listen to, hers or Beyonce's?
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill all day.
Exactly. Beyonce music doesn't speak to you.
Nope.
I agree.
She's an entertainer. She's a pretty woman. But her music doesn't speak to you like Lauryn Hill's music did.
You got me there. I'm agree with that. Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you something, y'all. Black folks don't care that we're doing a show, okay? They just go carry on a conversation.
Oh, what happened? Dad.
Let me tell you something, man. That's the last time you get on a conversation with your dad during the show. Because your dad was like, I don't care if you got a show going on or what. He's trying to catch up with you. Talk about, you see my text?
Well, that was a demonstration how easy it is, Reesa Tessa. If I say, Mo, my dad hit me up and said such and such, and Mo was like, okay, hi, John.
I know
Hi,
him.
John.
I know.
You can see my father.
I've seen him before. He's come on the show. Marlanda, she doesn't have an iPhone. She has an Android. That's why she got that button on there.
Yeah, this is just a phone that I had. Listen, I don't give a shit about no goddamn iPhone. iPhones can go down the drain for all I care. It is all about Android. Okay, this is a Samsung. Boom. Ain't no buttons on it. There go my granny.
All right, but back to Reesa Tessa. Come on now.
Back to Reesa Tessa. So, back to the Cliff Notes. She never heard from any of the siblings that he had. 5 siblings, 2 of them were half. She never spoke on the phone with her brother, but she did speak to him as he passed it along, as me and Mo demonstrated to you all. He meaning, what's his name? Jerome, said he had 2 stepchildren. This actually pissed me off. He has 2 stepchildren that he was really close with. He also never let her speak to the stepchildren. Okay. Once we get further in the story, which will be quicker than it was before, because we got a Cliff Notes here, you're going to hear how he used the stepkids to manipulate this stupid woman and how she fell for it. So both of them were 20 and 17, boy and a girl. This is the part of the story where he tried to purchase the home. So he told her he had a $700K loan from Chase. And this is when he started printing. He kept hitting print on that computer. He went to the library. He went to, what is it? Kinko's. Remember Kinko's? You should be able to go print shit. He was print. And he gave her a fake document. Somebody posted that document and I can't find it now.
Well, dude,
I really wish I could find it.
Here's my thing, okay? Y'all living together. How come he ain't getting no mail from Chase? Okay. Come on now. Chase gonna send you something, okay? Come on, man. Reesa, you sent us back, girl. You sent the whole sisterhood back, now that I think about it.
He printed out his Chase approval letter. Okay. Showed it to her. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he printed it first. I think he just showed it to her on the phone.
Yeah.
Because she said, I saw it. I saw the letter. I saw how much money he had offered to him. So I'm thinking it's okay. We're going to go get the house. Now that y'all know that he had a loan.
Oh, and she never talked to the real estate agent. Only he did.
Never talked to the real estate agent.
Yeah.
Never knew anything that was going on. Now she did that one time, right? And that's when it fell through. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm going to be a part of the process now. I want to hear what's going on. Okay. The first house fell through after he showed her the loan. Okay. Then once that comes through, he resorts back to the cars and says, okay, let's go look at some more cars. Promises her another car. Puts in an all cash offer, guys. So it went from, oh, I got a loan to an all cash offer. He was going to pay, what was it like? 60,000?
Yeah. No.
60,000
$700,000.
That was the house.
Oh, the
I'm talking about the cars because he put in all cash offers for the cars too.
Yeah.
This man was offering $60K out of pocket. And as soon as they asked for proof of funds, he didn't want to show it. But guess what this nutty bitch said? Well, I seen the chase letter. He showed me his bank accounts. I saw his savings and I knew he had money. And y'all, he was paying all my bills. All the money I was making from work, I was putting it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Tell me she wasn't a gold digger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what my favorite part was? When they were leaving, I think they were leaving dinner, right? And Jerome makes the mistake of going, hey, babe, you see that building up there? Yeah, that's where I work. Okay. The fact that she had never been to his work and she's his wife, not a work party, not dropping off lunch, not nothing. He's like, that's where I work. And she goes, by this time, she's now starting to kind of suspect stuff, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, for real? She's like, and this is like a weekend. She was like, take me over there. I want to see where you work. Jerome, real smooth like, okay? This is how he did it. I'm going to act it out for you guys. Jerome's like, oh, yeah, for sure, babe. I'll take you over there. You know what? Let me just call up to so-and-so who works security desk, see if he can open the door for us because I don't have my badge. My badge will get us up the elevator, but we can't get in the door. Okay? Just think about that for a second. The badge will get you up the elevator, but not in the door. So apparently his company issues a badge for the door and a badge for the elevator. Okay. Mind you, I forget what he did. He worked for like some type of, I think it was like a food company or something like that. It wasn't even all that like to be that secretive about getting in the building. What was this job that he said he worked for, like a food company?
Condiment company.
A condiment company, right? So tell me why a condiment company got to have a badge for the door and a badge for the elevator. They try to keep all the condiments, all the condiment secrets.
Condiments on lock.
Right. Okay. So Jerome, real smooth. This brother did not miss a beat. He was like, baby, let me just call up to the building real quick. He was like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, John? Yeah, listen, I'm trying to take my wife up to the building. You think you can let me in? Yeah. Oh, for real? He called in sick today? Babe, the guy that usually walks, he works the door. He called in sick today. So my man John's trying to find somebody else that could open the door for us. So we just head that direction and they'll get somebody. Oh, for real? That guy doesn't come in until later? Oh, okay. Hey, babe, you want to wait? You want to wait to get in? I can always take you back another time. Oh, okay. You cool with going? Okay, cool. And that's how Jerome did. Let me tell you, Jerome is a smooth character. Because if you could be that quick on the fly, wow.
Is he really though?
He sold that.
Is he really?
He sold it.
He can't be that smooth. Hey, listen, somebody is smooth that they can fool us. If you can fool these two on the screen, you're smooth. I believe she knew he was lying, but she also was holding out on the fact that maybe he wasn't, and she was about to live this lavish lifestyle. I really do think that. Yeah. Because, and the reason I'm being so hard on her, I'm going to be honest with you, is because this woman, you called yourself a Christian. You said that God spoke to you several times throughout this experience. You said your mother was a praying mom. Okay. And then you just decided to ignore all of God's warnings to you, and you put yourself in a situation where you're now benefiting off of your stupidity.
Exactly.
You're benefiting off of how dumb you were because, and you know what? I get it. There are some people who are supporting her, and there are some people like us that are saying, you dumb broad. You are stupid. I don't feel bad for you. You are a gold digger. And as far as I'm concerned, you took advantage of this mentally ill man who does have a lying issue. Okay. And I'm going to show y'all the video, the picture of him pretending to be at Netflix. I was telling Mo about that. I said, this fool photoshopped himself on a backdrop of Netflix.
Y'all gotta see this. Oh God, this is so funny.
The story just keeps going from there. She goes through several times of going to look at homes, having him offer an all cash offer, but not wanting to show proof of funds. She finally gets frustrated and says, I don't want to look at any more homes. So they stop looking at homes. He becomes sick, whatever he had, which I think allegedly you have to say that he's got some sort of HIV because he was sleeping with prostitutes.
Right.
Nasty bitch. Sleeping with prostitutes. And she was pretty much fed up with it. This is the end of the story, right? So he's in the room, bedridden. And she decided to go play FBI, found his divorce decree, found out that the stories that he had been telling her, because he had told her that a stepchild that died from COVID, he had told her that family members died of COVID. That's where I felt bad for her then, because she did believe that his family members actually died, because who lies about that, right? Finds out that all that is a lie. All of it is a lie. And then she still decides to stay with him a little bit longer. Okay. She's taking care of him while he is bedridden. She wants to make sure he goes to the doctor. And finally, she has a conversation with the ex-wife. And I guess she reached her end and had an exorcist moment and told him to get the F out. Told him to get the F out. And this one time, guys, he picks up his phone, puts it on speaker, and he's talking to his aunt. This is the first and only time she hears a family member when she's putting him out. And he said, I don't know why she's tripping. I ain't never lied to her.
Man, if they don't make this a movie, I'm gonna be upset.
They need to make it. Tubi, where you at? I hope Tubi makes a movie out of this, because I'm gonna watch the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Please make a movie out of this.
No, but you said Tubi. You want it to be like low budget, like that.
It's gonna be low budget because this is a low budget ass story. Nobody with sense is going to. Who's gonna turn this into a movie?
Soonie, but here's the thing, though. We don't want it to come out like what's that old girl's name that kidnapped herself on the side of the road? What was her name?
I forgot her name. I forgot.
Oh my God. That movie was
stupid. I can't remember her name.
This story is too good to be low budget. Okay. So here's the thing, because this was going to be another topic I think Soonie and I were going to talk about. Tyler Perry, stay far away from this one. Okay.
Yeah, don't make another movie.
Everything you do is low budget, just ain't doing anybody no favors.
Tyler Perry, until you do right by me, everything you touch is gonna crumble. If you know what that is, you know what that is. Color Purple. Until you do right by me. Tyler Perry, don't touch it. I would rather see director Phil put this shit together than I would Tyler Perry.
You know what? You need to tell director Phil, this is it right here. This is the project.
Do something. Somebody listen. I'm gonna watch it on Tubi, because you know Tubi's gonna make a version of this. It don't have to be the only version. I'm gonna watch it on Tubi, and I want to see how it plays out. Okay, but somebody does need to pick this up. This is actually for people who don't know, Who the F Did I Marry is actually a show on Oxygen. It tells different stories of men and women that found themselves married to fraudsters. So what she's doing is not new. There are several people who have stories like this, but she was dumb enough to get on social media and make herself look like an actual asshat. I don't like this woman. If I were to ever get an opportunity to interview Reesa Tessa, I would tell her, I don't know why anybody feels bad for you. You're a gold digger. And I think Jerome is the victim. You knew this man wasn't right upstairs.
So I have a question. Where was her family? Where was her family? Like, can you
Allegedly,
imagine?
she hid it from them. Because remember, she kept blaming COVID.
Okay,
everything was shut down.
But here's my thing. Like, you're in love. Okay, like let's not even get into like the thick of it when it started to get really bad. But like, you're in love, you meet this guy, you're pregnant, because that happened early on. He asked you to marry him. Even with COVID and all that stuff, wouldn't you be like, oh my God, like telling somebody, I'm in love, I met this dude, you know, we going hot and heavy. I mean, you don't have to say we're about to get married, or you don't have to say he's buying me a car, he's doing all this. But something see, again, not adding up to me. It's not adding up to me. Something's weird. So, you know what's really weird is I'm like, what if these two got together and made this whole thing up?
What if they did?
I wouldn't even put it past them.
It's 2024. People do anything for money.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did an interview. I don't know if you saw that.
Did? No, wait. First of all, you have to pull up the picture that he photoshopped himself in front of Netflix.
Okay, hold on. Let me show y'all the Netflix one.
Okay. In the meantime, comment section. Comment below if this were to be a legit movie, even a Tyler Perry movie. Who would play Reesa Tessa? Who would play Jerome? Okay.
Monique playing Reesa Tessa.
Reesa, because who else could play? You know what? But then I'm like, dude, Monique is too intelligent for Reesa Tessa.
Is she? Yeah, Monique getting ran through the mud right now.
No, I like Monique. I do like.
I like her too, but they fucking her up in the media right now. That's what I will say.
Who would play Jerome? Who would play Reesa Tessa? I know y'all got some. I know Marlanda's probably got some ideas. I'm trying to think. And don't be saying no like high profile actors gonna play Jerome, because we need somebody like real raggedy,
low budget.
Low budget.
Is there even a low budget? I don't know.
And who
would have to get somebody off the street for him?
No, because you got to get somebody smooth at the same time, right? That could deliver the lines in a believable way. Wendy would play Monique. Queen Latifah and Method Man. Oh, Method Man.
Lord. Y'all ain't right. I can't find it.
Damn, I could see Queen Latifah actually. Oh man, this is funny. You can't find
the villain. I can't.
The picture of him in front of the Netflix.
Did I send it to you?
No. Let's see. Legion in front of Netflix.
That picture was funny, y'all. The light leaks, and you could tell he cropped himself in front of that damn picture.
Dude, he probably had it taken down. Maybe
I couldn't find this account. Are they taking his accounts down?
Well, they took hers down.
Why?
Because they're making mad money off this shit. And like, supposedly he got his lawyers involved because he's looking at possibly suing her. Although I don't know how he could sue her because she didn't share the names. Other people, the internet sleuths, are the ones that shared the names.
Yeah, they found who they were. She did not. I'll give her that. She did not share any names.
Yeah.
Wow. Both of their pages are gone.
That's crazy. So the other thing I'll give her too is she tells a heck of a story, y'all. That's why we were captivated for all 6 hours, because she really tells the shoot out of this story. Okay.
Here it is. So this is a post that he put up, and he said, Netflix head of office, not even playing. This is his post. Thank you for this opportunity. Y'all will see who's lying when my story hits the big screen. So what the internet did was they questioned these light leaks. If you can see the light leaks on the photo, it's the streaks of light that come in either when you're in front of a big old light. So light, let's just say I had this ring light on, light leaks would come on my pictures, or if I'm outside in the sun. Okay. It does not happen indoors unless there is a massive light near you. Clearly, this is Netflix Studios. This Netflix studio just so happens to be in Asia. Okay. It's not even in the continent that he's in. So somebody did a reverse Google search and found that he was lying once again. Now, he had a whole page where he was posting different things. I subscribed to his page and I said, we want to interview you. I put it on every single one of his
so did I.
Posts. Yeah. But this is a photo that we were talking about. This man, he was dedicated. He is dedicated to this lie. Everyone knows he's lying.
Super dedicated.
We know. But he is super dedicated to this, so much so that he decided to lie and say that he's got a deal with Netflix. He even made a video pretending to be in like the atrium area. Y'all, I just had a conversation with Netflix. You know, it's going to be good. I wish I could find that video, but it ain't on here no more. But
well, what's that video?
Somebody did find an interview that he did with who... Simply Wavy. I'm not sure who that is, but they were able to interview him, and here's what he had to say.
My exact finances is not your business. She knew for a fact I had money because, again, I bought dinner. I did everything. Because I heard in the story where she said that we quarantined together during the pandemic. And I need to clear that up.
Was the Chase loan, the approval of the $700,000, was that a real thing?
I never went to my bank and needed to get approved for a loan.
Getting up every morning, talking to your brother who was on the phone. Was the proof of funds ever an issue?
The 2 accounts I let her know about. I had 5 altogether, but she had access. She was able to go to the bank, buy what she wanted when she wanted to buy it.
Excruciating pain.
She did it when she was pregnant. That was the other gentleman's kid, not mine. It was all signs, but I ignored them because she was my wife, and I'm just saying she's trying to work hard. You start taking care of somebody who don't appreciate it, and then you end up with a Reesa Tessa.
This was a fucking lie.
I told her the truth.
But I truly had no idea who the fuck I married.
My exact finances.
You didn't want to know.
So, according to Legion, aka Jerome, he's not lying, and he has conducted an interview. I am going to try finding the full interview to listen to what he's saying, but as of now, their social media pages are gone. I cannot find it.
Well, this is weird because I'm able to click on his TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, from like a message. Hold on 1 second. I gotta send a few things that I need to share because for whatever reason on my computer, I can't get to it. Okay, open up that I just sent you. Okay, so y'all, he's posting pictures. Okay. He's building his dream home.
Oh yes,
I
saw this. This man.
So immediately after the world tortured him, he decided, I'm gonna build a house. And here it is.
And somebody can go Google search that and make sure that it's actually his property, because he probably pulled that from Google somewhere, went to somebody's social media page and said, ooh, let me just show the frame of a house and say I'm building something, and then 6 months to a year later say it fell through. And no.
Oh my god.
What it comes down to.
It's so crazy.
Somebody said, Jerome, back up away from this person's house right now.
Dude, then he posted a picture of his net worth that shows his checking and savings have $25,269.
Here it is, y'all.
Oh yeah. Okay. That had me dead. The Cayman statement, Cayman bank statement. So he has these offshore accounts. This had me dead. He has his account number on there.
His balance. He's got an overdraft fee.
It's too funny. Poor Jerome. He can't even add. Like, he tried to make this thing legit.
And to me, this is not real. It looks like he got this from somewhere and then added something. So he added parts of this on this photo. Like this right here, this blue letter, Mr. the PO. I think that's fake. I don't think that's real at all.
No, because that's the one thing that doesn't match the rest of the font of the document. Exactly. Like they would have, the document would actually look like the checking and savings, or I'm sorry, font. It would look more like that across the board. It's so ghetto, man. It's so, oh Lord.
Okay, so I wasn't gonna do this because this is not the shit that I do. But the fact that I have to is a little ridiculous. it's a lot of people that is invested in this shit that shouldn't be, because I mean, get a life. But because I am doing this, I will clear up a lot of things. I am not, nor have I ever been, anybody named Jerome McCoy's sister. We are not related. I do not know him. I've never seen him a day in my life. I am nowhere near any possibility. Could it ever be me and him siblings? Okay? So please, please, please get off of my pages. Get off of my Instagram. Get off of my Facebook. Get off of my TikTok. I am.
Allegedly, he's saying this is his family. When your family betray you, it's a new level. Like, that's not even his family member. And he is actively online saying, my family betraying me in real time because of this dog hoe.
But see, here's the thing, and this is why I am so jaded now by everything that we find out on a daily basis. Is again, I'm just like, do they know all these people? Are all these people like, hey, yo, Jerome, put me on, man? Like, I'm gonna post a video saying I don't know you. You post a video saying this is my family member. Like, this is the lengths that people go to go viral these days. So I don't know. At this point, I don't put it past anybody who's posting videos. Like, they're all probably friends. And
look at him attempting to. Bruh.
He looks so different.
That's fake.
That's not him?
That's a filter. That is an AI. He said, I told y'all I had a twin brother. This is allegedly his twin brother.
But I thought she spoke to the family eventually, and he did have a twin brother.
Listen.
Yeah, that was real.
That is fake. You can tell this is a filter.
No, I don't think
everyone asking to see my twin.
I don't think that's his twin brother, but I do remember her saying in the video when she started to speak to his family, as she got to the end of this, she did find out that he did have a twin brother.
I don't know what this is. He got some random person's account where they got over $1 million.
Oh God. Why the credit card -14?
This is his page. People want to go look. He has several pictures of this is him crying.
Oh yeah.
But he's just breathing here.
I mean, this is true narcissistic behavior. This really is. Oh yeah. These people don't need attention. I agree with whoever this woman is. She said, I am not your sister. I don't know you. I definitely did reach out to him. I'm dead. All right. Let's get on to Wendy Williams before you have to go.
Wendy Williams. Okay.
Wendy Williams. I was about to say Wendy Williams next. I just got excited and put Wendy Williams. All right.
He's watching Titanic. Leave him alone.
Oh gosh, y'all are too
Who
much.
After I married, go watch that series, y'all. Go watch it.
Just search it up on YouTube. You'll be able to find it. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys some clips of the Wendy Williams. Okay. And I saved a few good ones here. Chad, please.
Keep going.
Okay. So I think have we already seen, everybody I think has seen the one of her and China talking where when Wendy takes off her wig. That was actually, like, for me when I was watching it, that was actually like a real sweet moment. Because, you know, China, she's taken a beating herself, no pun intended. And, you know, she was one of the only celebrities that they really showed to come and reach out to Wendy, which I thought was kind of cool because, you know, you hear a lot of people reporting on this story now and talking about, oh, Wendy's a good friend of ours, but ain't none of y'all reaching out to her and, you know, really checking on her to see how she's doing. And she actually cries about it on this documentary when her manager tells her, you know a lot of people, Wendy. And she goes, no, I don't. And he goes, yeah, you got a lot of numbers in your phone. And she starts crying and she goes, but how come nobody calls me? to come over. Nobody calls me. And it's like a wake up call, right? Because you really see, like, in those moments of your life, who's going to be really there for you. Everybody's willing to report. Yeah, everybody's willing to report on this, but you don't really hear anybody reaching out to help Wendy.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I think, I don't know who said it. Somebody was talking on this subject, and they said, this is karma. This is what happens when you spend your entire career talking about people's personal business.
Mhm.
They don't reach out to you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to reach out to you. I don't feel bad for Wendy.
Mhm.
I feel bad for her situation.
Mhm.
Is what I feel bad for.
Mm.
Yeah.
As a Wendy fan and an avid Wendy watcher and listener from back in her radio days, I do feel bad for Wendy, because I personally can attest to how she was, even in her radio days when she was doing coke, okay? How she was then. And I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are probably going to not like that I'm saying this, because I know that we're supposed to always blame the man in every situation. But if you really look at it, Wendy, her life, regardless of the extramarital affairs that her husband had, which, they actually tried to work it out, and try to stick together, or at least try to be amicable. But Wendy herself, physically and mentally, up until the divorce happened, was doing really great with her husband in her life, supporting her. And she even admitted to that a lot of her success was a result of her ex-husband, Kevin. And for whatever reason, there was a lot of stuff that happened in the background. Kevin's, affair, which Wendy had known about for years, but it wasn't until he got this woman pregnant that she said, I'm done, because I ain't taking care of no baby, right? So she was kind of putting up with this. But then a lot of stuff happened on the show. Immediately after that, the show created this little bit that they were going to set Wendy up with somebody. So they created this bit where people would write in to date Wendy. And miraculously enough, this guy named Mike Emerson writes in, sends his picture saying he wants to date Wendy. But Mike Emerson is not just some regular Joe Schmo. He is a very world-renowned talent agent in Hollywood who happens to be friends with Mario Lopez. And they hit it off right away. He comes to New York to see her. Wendy talks about him on her show, talks about how they are seeing each other, they're dating, they're kissing. They're going out to dinners on the town. And then all of a sudden, Mike disappears out of her life. And shortly after that, Wendy enters rehab. Wendy has the fainting situation on her show. So there's a lot of things that happened after this guy, Mike, mysteriously came into the picture. My personal thought is that Mike was probably doing some reconnaissance on Wendy, because I think that Wendy pioneering the movement of exposing a lot of people like Diddy. She talked about Whitney's coke habit before anybody was talking about Whitney's coke habit. All the predictions she's made on her show have pretty much come true. Kim and Kanye's divorce, right? Everything. So you could say what you want about Wendy, but she's hella accurate and she tells it like it is. And I think they didn't like that. And when you look at situations like Michael Jackson, Kanye West, Prince, there's a pattern. There's a pattern here of when people don't play the game that you're supposed to play when you make the deal with the devil in this industry, they take you down one way or another. Okay. So I'm going to play this little clip. This is Wendy talking with her niece, Alex Finney. And her niece, Alex, talking to her about the people that she's got hanging around her. So, sorry, Soonie, I was going to ask you what you thought about this picture. But anyways, we ain't going to get there yet. So there was another scene here where they show Wendy getting her nails done. And this kind of showcases how Wendy kind of just goes from perfectly normal to not perfectly normal, which is very characteristic of somebody with dementia. Because somebody asked, do we really think she has dementia? I think so. She kind of displays a lot of the symptomatic behaviors of it. But here's this video. This was a funny video when I saw it, and I was just, yeah. So that's her manager that you saw at the end there. I think it's Will Selby or something his name is. Will and the first lady that you saw, I'm sorry, not the first lady, but the lady that you saw on the couch that they eventually kicked out is Sean Zanotti, and she's a publicist and a manager. Those two people are not necessarily getting paid by Wendy. They're getting paid by the conservatorship. So that's why it's coming to question what's going on there. But Soonie, I know you have other thoughts necessarily not related to Wendy, but in general about the situation.
She drunk herself into dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Addiction is rampant in my family. Whether it's heroin, whether it's alcohol, cocaine, it's rampant. People make choices.
Mm-hmm.
Her son even has come out and said she's made choices.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is anyone's fault but Wendy's. She has an addiction. She struggled with an addiction. One of the main reasons I don't feel bad is because she's exploited other people's addiction and showcased it as caring. One of the main ones that everyone remembers is Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather drunk himself into dementia. He did.
Mm-hmm.
No one's fault but his. I think the same thing with Wendy. Of course, I offer prayers because looking at her in that state is sad. But I also know that she got there because she put herself there at the end of the day. This conservatorship, it sucks. It's really shitty that the state can determine what does and does not happen with your money.
Yeah.
It does. It sucks that the family is not being allowed to make sure that their family member is okay. At certain points in this documentary, it talks about how the son took over and she was getting better. She was gaining weight. She stopped drinking. And she goes back to New York and she's left to her own vices. She's an addict. They can't be left alone. They can't. Or they're going to resort back to what they normally do, which is drink, use, whatever the case may be. Would Wendy be in this situation if she didn't have an addiction problem? No. I don't believe so. I don't think it would have mattered who she dated.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that would have mattered. She would still have everything she has if she was not drinking and medicating. And she says it herself. Her family members say it. She says it. The people around her know it. She was drinking party bottles of liquor in one day. I can't even fucking do that. That's absurd.
Yeah. She like they do show that a lot. And the guy Will is constantly, or they're showing him constantly trying to like avoid her being served alcohol, or he does searches of her room constantly to see if he finds alcohol. What's weird for me though, again, as a Wendy watcher, is how it got there, because there was literally a point where she announced on her show she was living in a sober house. She wasn't even living in her house. And she said, I will be there for the indefinite future. Her sober coach was with her at the show. And so I'm sitting here because now that we know how she was put into the sober house, it wasn't by her husband. It wasn't by her family members. They don't know who suggested she go into the sober house. So there's a lot of weird things. So then my question is, well, did she go into a sober house? You know what I mean? Because as you're watching the show, when she's declaring that she's living in a sober house, she's progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Like not making sense when she's interviewing people, forgetting things, being less animated the way she normally is. So there was a lot of signs that like you could see. And so that's what makes me question did somebody really actually ever have this woman best interests at heart? You know,
Yeah, I mean,
before the conservatorship even came into play, where was the family?
I think it's easy to say that on the outside looking in, but if you don't want the family around, the family's not going to be around. Like they're just not. I guess I can give a anecdotal experience with this. My uncle is a big household name. He doesn't even speak to half of his family members, and that's by his choice. He chooses not to. He chooses to live halfway across the country, away from everybody else. He barely went home, and I can understand. This is a part of me that's like, I wouldn't come home to visit Erie. You know, I wouldn't be up in arms, ready to hop and go back. I would definitely probably distance myself. So the question is, why isn't the family involved? Did she want them involved? Did she not want them involved?
But here,
Did she have vultures in her family?
But here is the part to it again that makes it important that, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because you represent the people that aren't like a Wendy fan. Wendy constantly had her parents in the audience. Wendy constantly was flying to Florida to be with her son. Wendy in the early days, okay, would be like, she would do like what she called like an after show. And in the after show, she would go from talking about the guests on the show to going, oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. Kevin, her son graduated whatever grade with all honors. We're so excited, right? Then she would talk about how her husband, he would parent one way and she was very strict with the money, which is another thing, right? Because they questioned, did Kevin Jr. steal the money from her? He was asked about that and he said, oh no, I never did without my mom's consent. And my mom liked me to spend money, I think he said, or something, or she liked to buy me things. When he said that, as much as I like Kevin Jr. and I see how happy she is with him, when he said that, I was like, oh, no. Because us loyal Wendy people that have been with her since the radio days know that she always talked about how cheap and frugal she was. Okay. So at that moment, I started to think, well, damn, is the family not good? Were they the ones involved in it? And then I saw an interview from Kevin, the husband, and he said that her sister Wanda was taking advantage of her and stole almost $15 million from Wendy. Again, the sad world we live in these days, I can't even watch somebody cry and be like, damn, they're for sure telling the truth. I don't know who's telling the truth. Wendy could be lying. The family could be lying. The people that said, oh, we would have never put this documentary out if we had known she had dementia. What are you talking about? You filmed this. You filmed it. You saw what was going on. She's a producer on it. It's all weird to me. It doesn't make sense. Everything stank.
Yeah. I mean, celebrities say a lot. That is not exactly true. They have an image to uphold. So, of course, you're going to say the best parts of you and you're not going to exactly expose
the truth.
Worst parts of yourself. So, she could have said all that on the show, and avid Wendy fans could have heard all that. Doesn't make it true. I don't know any addict that's a good parent. Just saying. I don't. I don't know any addict that's a good parent that makes rational, functioning decisions. In fact, I do believe that she allowed him to spend because she was probably overcompensating for how much she did miss. You don't have that type of career and maintain a healthy family structure as a woman. You don't. I think everybody knows that. There's no way. You don't have that type of career, get as drunk as you do, end in a nasty divorce. Your husband is cheating on you. He didn't go cheat for no reason. Her son isn't distant. Her son looks absolutely fucking destroyed in that documentary. You can't fake that, in my personal opinion. That's not something you could fake. especially somebody that's not on TV like that. He was sitting across the table from his mom, bro. Him and that little boy who was sitting there with him.
Her
They
nephew.
were fucking destroyed looking at her like that. They're
Mhm.
probably just like, dude, what the? I wouldn't want to be around that either. And she probably tried to overcompensate as a parent and did give him leeway. Yes, buy this, buy that. I'm just saying. I'm just considering the fact that she's an addict.
Mhm.
Human at the end of the day. She's a fucking addict, bro.
See, Dave's dad, his stepdad was an addict. He was an alcoholic, and he was a great dad. Like a great dad, and he was a stepdad, and he credits him for, being a great dad. So, I think there are situations where people can have an addiction and can hide it and can perform very normal. But I just feel like what's going on with Wendy, obviously now we know she has the dementia, but even before the diagnosis of the dementia, like the rapid pace of everything happening just didn't scream, this is a result of drugs and alcohol. Something else was going on. And that's a consensus that I've heard. There is something else going on and has been going on. But I think probably it won't be long before we hear that she's dead. For sure. Dude, my freaking video.
Hey man. It's Hollywood. This is
Yeah.
what you get in my career. This is why I'm not interested. This is why my father kept me away from it. This is why my dad does not encourage. He even told me, do not use your last name. There's things that come with that. Don't use it unless you're going to be smart with it.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't have sympathy. Sometimes I feel like we give sympathy where it's not necessary, and we're harsh when sympathy and grace is needed. I just can't feel sorry for somebody who makes a living out of prying into someone else's personal shit. Like I can't. There's something within me that's just like, I didn't even want to watch the documentary. I was like, I'm not watching this crap.
Yeah.
For what? And then I saw a clip of it, and I saw her family speak, and I saw her son, and I was like, you know what? I'm interested to see what they're saying. I'm interested in their perspective, and I decided to watch it.
That's what got you to watch alone. It.
That's it. Because if it would have just been about Wendy, I wouldn't have watched it. Because I think what you put out comes back to you tenfold. I do not believe people experience misfortunes just because. You know how people say, why do bad things happen to good people? Were you good all your life? Seriously. You may be this person now, but did you actually go and get those things right with people? Because I do believe you have to do that. You know you've wronged someone. You need to go back and fix that, because it's going to materialize and manifest itself later. That's why people are walking around with childhood trauma. Why is that family structure the way it is? I know why mine is the way it is. My family's completely dysfunctional, and it's because people don't talk and right their wrongs. I think karma's real. What goes up must come down, and what you put out is what you get back. And I personally believe what she put out is what she's getting back, unfortunately. And hopefully she can rectify it. Hopefully she's somewhere getting the help she needs to get. She's not drinking.
Man, I don't think
so. If not, then, she's a celebrity at the end of the day. How I look at her is how I look at all celebrities. Except for people that I'm attached to, which is biased. But
I look at celebrities a different way because I used to work in the industry. So like I've seen a lot, and I guess I see their human side more. And that's what interests me about the Wendy situation, is because somebody asked me the other day, they were like, what was it about her that you liked? And I was like, personally for me, I felt like when I watched her show or when I listened to her talk or interview guests, I felt like she had this access to talk to people, but then when she would comment on it, it was like I was sitting down with my girlfriend, right? And she was like, girl, let me tell you something, right? And so she had this connection with people that was like, this is a real person that you could see yourself going out and having lunch with and chit-chatting. Like I couldn't see myself like that with Oprah. I couldn't see myself with that, like that with Sherry Shepherd or Kelly Clarkson. But Wendy had this ability to connect with people and to connect with everybody. And I think that that's what I liked about her. I liked that she was just her, unapologetically her. All the flaws, her. And that's what I saw. I saw a real person there. And I still see a real person more so when I watched the documentary. I think one of the moments that stood out to me is when she started to cry and she said, I miss my family. She said, I love being famous and I will do anything to be famous. But I also just want to be a regular girl, which is not possible, unfortunately. I think there's a certain point of fame that you trade for normality, right? And it just wasn't going to be possible for her. So very, very sad situation. Very, very sad situation. All right. So, I want to make a comment on something real quick. So I was we're just going to show a little quick video. So I don't know what this is because I don't even understand the caption. If somebody can help me out, I have no idea what this is or how this ended up on my timeline. But before I put the video up here, it says Soulless. Actually, I'm going to put the screenshot. Soulless exhibits the copying. So this is an art exhibit. I'm going to play the video in a second. The repetition and the wear and tear of the image on the internet, okay? But also highlights the hyper individualism and hyper connectivity presented in social networks. At the same time, Soulless ventures to talk about the invisibility of the female body in the immaterial market of the data that invades today and where the body continues to be considered the main object of desire. Okay. So they're calling this art is what I'm saying. Okay. So wait till y'all see this video. Cause I was just like, what in the OnlyFans art installation is this? Okay. But this is what we're calling art nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. So I'm going to mute the music because I don't want to get copywritten. But as you can see, what these ladies are doing is they're all posed in front of a laptop computer doing sexual moves, basically. Okay. And here's another video of the moves. This is what this art installation is saying. This is what the internet has become. Over-sexualized, addicted to attention. And as shocked as I was by this, I can't say they're not wrong. So yeah. I just thought I'd share that. And since I have to kill a little bit of time, here's Soonie. Soonie, this is an art installation, by the way. Okay, showing what the internet has created in people.
I found this on the web for this is an art installation, by the way, showing what the internet has created. Check it out.
Freaking Siri. This is what's come of the internet now. Yeah, is this type of stuff. So it's these girls in this art installation just twerking in front of laptop cameras. Or I'm sorry, laptop computers. I don't know what this is. I was hoping somebody could come on here and tell me how this showed up on my timeline. I don't even follow this account. And I don't understand. It says it's via this. What is this? Candle Captain. Oh, they do a bunch of weird shit. Here you go. Anyways. All right. So I was just trying to kill some time until you came back, and I found that quite interesting. It was something I bookmarked. Yeah. All right. So
the hell's on your fucking timeline? If you're over there watching.
I don't know. It's just stuff that shows up. All right. What do you want to talk about next?
What do I want to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about Trump winning Michigan and South Carolina. And let's talk about the fact that Nikki Haley has still not dropped out of this race.
Despite
I
losing
don't
again.
understand why. I don't. This just goes to show why women should not be in leadership positions. Ma'am, you have lost. You're up to, it's probably over 200 delegates at this point that you do not have.
How bad did she lose in Michigan?
It was a 60-40 split.
Oh, wow.
Like, I want to know what is going on in her team's mind. And I wonder if her team has been like, Nimrata, I think we should just go ahead and wrap it up. You know how Steve Harvey said that, the Titanic was going down if it was black musicians on there. If you unplugging the chords and wrapping it up, it's time to go.
I didn't hear him say that. He said that.
Why are y'all still going on with this? Congratulations to Trump. I think everybody knew he was going to win the nomination. I think everyone knew that he was going to be the GOP's pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, this is just like, I'm waiting for something to happen is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Trump to be winning, and then all of a sudden it's 3:00 in the morning and he just takes a swan dive and he's losing every state after this. I'm kind of waiting for that because I can't understand for the life of me why this heifer is holding on for dear life. Like, you lost. It's over. This is like staying in the gym after you've lost in overtime, talking about it's not over. You need to look at referees, come review this. You lost. What are we doing?
Hey, you know what? By the way, this is not on the topic of her, but I wanted to bring this up because I was like, man, I'm proud of Tatum for doing this. So he was doing some live, and they were talking about the race, and they were talking about who do you think is going to be the vice president pick for Trump, right? Somebody says in the comments, Carrie Lake. And I was surprised to hear this because, Tatum, he was gunning for Carrie Lake at one point. And he says, no, definitely not Carrie Lake. And he said, let me tell you why. And he went into her behavior. And he said, I can't stand behind that. I can't support somebody who I myself had in my home. And I'm now looking at her actions and going, what are you doing? Secretly taping people, all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, he's backtracking. All right. But anyways, I just thought I'd bring that up as a little update. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand how they can justify to keep spending money to go state to state with this girl. I don't understand it.
Well, apparently, Yahoo News thinks that she has a path forward. So we're going to read their take on why she has a path forward. It says Miss Haley clearly is banking on something, like I said. And I actually just pulled this article up, knocking Donald Trump out of the presidential race, doing so within the next few months. After South Carolina, it appears increasingly obvious that it won't be the persistent criticism she has leveled at him for weeks across the country. His legal issues are the next most obvious threat, which I don't believe, especially if he loses the appeal on civil judgments against him in New York. Those two trials ended in a combined 438 million in judgments against him. It's still a gamble, but it may end up being a bad one if the RNC ends up keeping Mr. Trump afloat through the end of the primary. But there is a window here for money problems to force the former president out of the race through attrition if his donations truly begin drying up. So they're banking on the fact that Trump won't be able to fundraise anymore, which will leave room for Nikki Haley to come and sweep up the victory. And I don't think they understand how much of a cult this country is for Donald Trump.
Right.
These motherfuckers spent $432.92 on some ugly ass high tops. I'm still waiting to figure out where they was made at.
You haven't figured it out? It's not easily Googleable?
It's not. No. Why is this so hard to find out? I think it's because you got it made in China. I swear to God, I do.
That's weird. Maybe we should ask Fat Joe because he bought a pair, but he don't support Trump, but he bought a pair.
All I'm saying is, Nikki Haley, it is time. Listen, it's time to go. Wrap it up.
Hang it up. As soon as he says, unplug the cords.
Unplug it. Wrap it up. Put it around your arm. You singing on the ship while it's going down. No, you said you was a woman of color. Women of color don't act like this. When we understand it's over, it's over. You're doing some white people stuff.
Oh, but maybe she's on that Reesa Tessa tip where she's taking a little bit longer to understand it's over.
Maybe. You could be right. Yeah. I just want her to understand it's done. It's a wrap. There is no path forward. I actually won $1 on this bet because somebody swore up and down she was going to win South Carolina because of the abortion debate and because that's where she's from. And it was a 60-40 split there. She got her ass tapped. You keep getting that ass whooped. I want you to tap out. Nimrata, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done. Finito.
Well, and I don't know, because you mentioned the cases against Trump. They're betting on that stuff. I know one of them is that case in Fulton County. It ain't looking too good for y'all over there in Fulton County because I've been watching the trial. It's kicked back up again. And they brought old boy's attorney on the stand, and they got some text messages that look a little shady, right? Because now they've determined, attorney-client privilege doesn't apply to this situation. So, attorney man, why don't you come back up here on the stand?
Come on up to the stage. Let's talk about it.
Come on up. Yep, that's right. So they got 413 text messages between Terrence Bradley and Ashley Merchant, who is the attorney for one of Trump's co-defendants. And she's literally got her cell phone up while she's asking him questions. And every time he denies something, she goes, Your Honor, can I approach the stand? And she brings her cell phone and she goes, is this you texting me? Basically, he was telling her that there was funny business going on. And it was going on before the...
Wow.
Yeah. So it ain't looking good. And then Trump's team submitted a bunch of phone records that show that Nathan Wade's phone was pinging off a cell tower right by Fanny Girl's house at the booty call hour, which I talked about last week. At the booty call hour.
Nothing but some legs after 12. If you got a black mama, you heard that.
Yeah. And it was there, and he was there till 4:00 in the morning. Now you know what that means.
Tapping that. He was getting that.
He was tapping it. But he testified he had never been there.
So he perjured himself on the stand, and he should be facing a year in jail because Lil' Kim had to go to jail.
Yeah.
Or is he going to escape jail time? Therefore, we're going to put this narrative to rest, Donald J. fucking Trump. Because I want to talk about that. I'm so sick of this old man. This fool. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. I'm so sick of him. I'm sick of Trump.
Sick of him.
This man. I wish I would have had this pulled up. I put this conversation to rest because I got so bothered by people's idiotic responses to me.
I want to know what people were saying.
Donald J. Trump. Sit down somewhere. That's what, look. It's time to wrap it up.
Tell the people what he said now. Come on.
Are you put a video up? I'm going to let him tell it. I don't want to say it. Okay, I want him to tell y'all what he said.
Soonie don't want to take him out of context.
What you doing, dog? You're doing too much. Hold on.
Okay.
We got a special guest coming on with us.
Uh-oh. Emery.
Say hi. Oh,
hi.
Okay. She said hi. Hi, everybody. Okay. Donald J. Trump, everyone.
evidence. And then I got indicted a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing, but it possibly, I don't know, maybe there's something there. But I got also sued, and a lot of it comes right out. All of it comes out of the Justice Department, or it comes out of the Democrat Party.
Sir, so can listen, if this black man and this black woman do not face any type of legal action for perjuring themselves on the stand, and they get to go home, you gonna hang up this narrative, you and whoever was at this Black Conservative Federation event, all y'all gonna hang up this narrative of blacks facing discrimination in the legal system, right? Do you know how many people have told me that I am oppressed and they are conservative?
I said it. They like to play the victim.
I hope y'all hang it up.
Soonie got
Matter of
mad.
fact, I hope they don't get no legal action. Because when they don't, I'm going to come on live shouting and acting a plumb fucking fool. That's what I'm going to do.
Dang. Dude, you know what's funny about this? So I have been in the thick of it, like for the past 3 days, about Fani Willis and Trump, because DL Hughley made a little post and he said, so y'all want hashtag Fani Willis removed for having consensual sex, but you're supporting a rapist? Got it. So, and of course he put Trump in there. So I go in there and I say, first of all, there's zero evidence proving Trump raped anyone, okay? Because they're referring to the E. Jean Carroll case that he had to pay out $84 million for defamation and sexual abuse, okay? Sexual abuse.
That is.
Yeah, sexual abuse and rape are two different things, okay? So I started going in at the comments on that because I had to explain to these dumbasses what sexual abuse actually constitutes as. So for instance, if I was a man and I were to say to Soonie, like we were, working together or we were in the same area, and I were to say, oh, you look real nice today, okay? And Soonie takes that as a quote unquote unwanted sexual advance, that is constituted as sexual abuse under the law. Okay. So he was found liable of sexual abuse and defamation because he said, I don't know who this woman is and she ain't my type. Okay. So she claims that her feelings got hurt and apparently that's worth $84 million because she's got to go get therapy. Okay. When I tell you the people in the comments section, Soonie, were coming after me, there are 180 replies to my one comment.
People are mentally retarded.
And they're like, oh, you're a Trump cultist. And I was like, wait a minute. This is a great This is a great time for me to gain some new viewers. I was like, hold up now. I'm just saying facts, okay? Y'all need to know I have a show and we do criticize him. There might be some times that I side with him, but there's also times that I criticize. Soonie, what? You know what? I'm just not going to talk.
I didn't say nothing.
I'm just not going to talk. The shade. The shade. Soonie, I am not a Trump cultist. I'm not. Stop it. Take that back.
I didn't do nothing. Audience, save me. I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing.
You made a face.
I do.
You made a face.
Listen, making faces is not legal. Illegal, madam.
Anyways, regardless of what they wanted to call me, I'm sitting here watching these people fight tooth and nail for this Fani Willis, a piece of garbage who had an affair with the married man, who hired him to prosecute Trump when he was dipping his dipstick in you every damn night of the pandemic. trash. You see what I'm saying? Like, but see, this is the thing about that side that I do really admire is they stick with their people.
Yeah. They don't
You
bend
know
on anything.
they don't bend on anything. Not
No,
one little thing.
it's not a shrimp cultist. All right.
Yeah. I'm not a cultist. Tell her, Emery. See, you're gonna start that rumor and it's not gonna be good for me. I'm already trying to I was trying to like
what rumor?
I was trying to improve my image.
I didn't do nothing. You're not a
sue,
Trump cultist.
I'm gonna sue Soonie for defamation, and I'm gonna claim that I need like a cool 20 million to get over it.
You know what? And I'm gonna say, listen, I was under duress when I said that.
Under duress. Under duress. Oh Lord.
She's Jew, and you know, she kind of bullied me into saying this.
That's right. I am Jewish. See, I forgot. I'm Jewish. By the way, that video where we talked about me being Jewish and me had the, you know, the flag in the background, we got fully monetized on my channel with that video.
Yo, you need to put that shit back up. Why you ain't got it on right now?
Dude, Jew power. Well, when I say fully monetized, most of my videos have like the little yellow money sign, which means I don't have a lot of advertisers on those videos. But they gave me the green money sign. I was like, oh, the Jews. They saw the flag and they were like, we gonna put our commercial on her video.
Go ahead and put some commercials on there.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Comments?
I feel like YouTube is doing something weird because
I'm telling you, I can't either. And it's so like our viewership and our comments have been so out of character lately. Usually people in our comment section are constantly going,
what the hell, man? Well, I have one more topic before I do have to dip out.
Okay.
Pick up my babies.
Okay.
We have both brought up the same topic. I didn't know if you guys saw this or not, but Representative Katie Porter, who is a Democrat, she's running for Senate in California, said that pedophilia is not a crime, it's an identity. And a lot of people were saying that, well, you just took her out of context. No, she was not taken out of context. It is a crime, and it is a disgusting crime. And I wanted to bring up the fact that there was a TED Talk back in 2018 that happened in Germany that went viral for the same kind of sentiments that was being discussed. And it featured I want to say she was a student. She gave a speech on why our perception of pedophilia has to change. And in her TED Talk, she told the story of 19-year-old Jonas, a Munich student who was sexually attracted to the girls aged 6 to 12. But since he's aware of the consequences for the children, he has never given in to his sexual desires. She cited the 10th revision in the International Statistics of Classification of Disease and Related Health Problems, the IDC-10, for the description of pedophilia as a sexual preference for pre-adolescent children, and pointed to the unspecified research that differentiates them between child sex abusers and pedophiles. Ma'am, pedophilia is a derivative of pedophile. Okay? What are you talking about? It is not a sexual orientation. So for all the people saying, oh, she misspoke, that's not what she meant. This was a conversation back in 2018. It has since morphed since then. There was a professor at Yale who got exposed. I know, tell him. There was a professor at Yale who got exposed for saying that pedophilia is a sexual orientation. And this person was also non-binary. So I'm going to play this video. You guys can see what I saw. Anybody who has children in this country should be terrified. This should help. This should really help you with wanting to keep an extra eye on your kids.
Of groomer and pedophile, it is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity. So this is clearly prohibited under Twitter's content, yet you found hundreds of these posts on the platform.
So you heard it right there. I'll play it again.
Allegations of groomer and pedophile. It is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity. So this is clearly prohibited under Twitter's content, yet you found hundreds of these posts on the platform.
Ma'am, if you are saying it is their identity, you are alluding to the fact that this is how they live, meaning they act out these things. They are like, I am Black. I can't help that. I live that way all of my life. But what I am not is a criminal, right? Because what does criminal mean? It means that I commit crimes.
Right.
A pedophile means that this person has an attraction to children. Whether they've acted on it or not, they should be ostracized in society merely from the fact that you have an attraction, a sexual attraction at that, to a child.
Right.
Why do we want to soften the blow on these people?
Well, and let me tell you, so AP News did an article on this, and they basically did the claim, what their assessment was, and what the facts are. And I want people to hear this because this is how they're trying to spin this narrative. So obviously the claim is that Representative Katie Porter said at a hearing before the House Oversight and Reform Committee that, quote, pedophilia is not an identity, not a crime. That is an identity, not a crime, sorry. So AP assessed it, and they said this is false. Porter's comments from the committee's Wednesday hearing on the rise of anti-LGBTQ violence were taken out of context. The California Democrat was agreeing with Human Rights Campaign President Kelly Robinson, who spoke about online rhetoric painting LGBTQ people as quote-unquote groomers and pedophiles. Porter said that such rhetoric amounts to falsely, quote, alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, or their gender identity. Here's what the facts are, they said. Misleading posts about Porter's appearance at the hearing are spreading widely on social media, distorting comments she made on the LGBTQ rhetoric. Katie Porter says, pedophilia isn't a crime, it's an identity. One tweet that shared a truncated version of Porter's comments claimed it only received nearly 21,000 likes and 10,000 shares. Then they put the full recording.
Only.
Yeah, only. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Which means those people either agreed with her sentiments that you say are taken out of context, or they somewhat align with it.
Yeah, I feel like
it applies to them.
Her comments were extremely clear. They couldn't have been more clear. And Soonie showed you guys the video out of her own words, out of her own mouth.
I have a question for you before I go. This is, it's kind of off topic, but something just popped up on my timeline. When you see Christian rappers rap over a secular beat, what do you think? And this is, I'm really asking. I'm curious.
I mean, my first, so like they're sampling is what you're saying? Like they're sampling from a secular song?
No, they're covering it. So when you say sample, what I'm hearing you say is they used a portion of that and put it in their own song.
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
I don't have a problem. No, I don't got a problem with that. You can sample music. It is what it is. But if you just take a song, like let's just take Sexy Red's, her cootie cat is pink and her other part is brown, right? Let's say a Christian rapper took that beat and then put Christian lyrics on that same beat.
Okay. So I think we were thinking the same thing. I was just defining it differently. So my first reaction to that would be that Christian rapper wants to appeal to people who listen to that music by using the beat.
Okay.
Right? So like I'm thinking of didn't Bryson do a song that had like an Eminem type vibe to it?
Yeah, but it was a song he produced. It wasn't a sample and there was nothing. But yeah.
No, it wasn't a sample, but it had like a Eminem vibe. I don't remember the song, but I kind of remember him talking about it. And I like the song. I don't see anything wrong with it. And And I mean, I think when you're either using a beat or a style, right? Like you're emulating a style. I think it's another way to reach people that would listen to that music. I personally don't have a problem with it because I feel like if somebody listens to that song because they resonate with the beat and they're like, oh, damn, I love this beat, but the words are different. Let me listen to the words. And they would have never listened to it otherwise. I think that's a good thing. Why are you asking?
Because there's a lot of Christian rappers that are taking worldly music and putting Christian lyrics on them. Now, I happen to think completely different than you do. It's going to appeal to people who don't feel comfortable to listening to Sexy Red. So, for instance, a lot of people were uncomfortable with Cardi B's song. There's some hoes in this house. I don't remember the name of the song, but that song, right? If you were to take that same beat and put Christian lyrics on it, WAP, thank you. You now feel comfortable listening to that song, right? And more times than not, if I were to hear that song and a Christian rapper rapping on it, you know whose lyrics I'm going to hear?
Cardi B.
I'm not going to hear that Christian's rap. I'm not. That moment might capture my mind and say, oh, like you said, oh, this is fire. Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
But every time I hear this song, it's going to make me want to go listen to Cardi B's version because that's the original version.
So it's kind of like trying to quit drinking alcohol because you're an alcoholic, but still drinking non-alcoholic drinks out of a bottle that looks like you're drinking alcohol
and tastes like alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I see your side too.
I just wonder
who's doing what Christian artists are doing that, by the way.
So it's I'll share it just so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
We're not gonna just stop it in between so we don't get copyrighted.
Stop, girl.
See, now that you saying WAP, certified freak.
It's in your head. Now imagine if a Christian rapper were to they put Jesus on it.
Yeah.
All you're gonna be like is to me, this is like playing swag surfing in the church, but you put Jesus on it. Huh?
Yeah.
That don't quite line up.
See, my song's about to be like certified Jew. Everything I do.
I sent it to your WhatsApp. I don't know if you got it.
Okay. I'm about to make the song right now, actually. There's some Jews in this house. There's some Jews in this house.
See? Exactly what I said is happening to you. I'm bringing this up because I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of the art. When I hear something, when I hear a song, I hear a sample before I hear the song. When I hear a song, I can split the song up and hear percussions, hear brass, I can hear all of it. You put this, all I said was, you remember the song? Dun, dun, dun. I didn't even sing the song. And now you're like, certified freak. Exactly what I'm talking about is what it's doing to you.
Yeah.
So what is it doing to the masses?
Right. But you know what? Think about it. You know who did this? Weird Al Yankovic, right? He used to take people's songs.
Oh, Al Yankovic. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. And he would turn it into like, funny lyrics, right? But people actually would sing those lyrics like, when he did Michael Jackson's Beat It and he turned it into Eat It, I loved him. So good. All right.
So she covered Glorilla, and y'all know who Glorilla is.
Yes. So this is God is Worthy. Oh, wait. What's the name of the song? I don't know.
No clue.
Okay. Let's listen to it. I'm going to pause it a little bit in between because I'll probably get hit with okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just silence it after this video airs. Y'all can hear the whole thing.
Okay.
You that angels, you run up, get done. I know this ain't no come up. If the devil goofy and you let him use you, that's dumb and dumber. Why be demonic for numbers? Like hell ain't hot, shoot I Billy like summer. Okay, my biggest threats got fight my battles, confessing my sins like a snitch or a tab. I talk to the Lord, I don't talk to the feds, so I hate it can't get in my head. Forget a little weapon that fashion, making not possible was made in his image. I know my design. That EPA charm on me like his Dolce Gabbana. Hey, yeah, God, Alpha Omega. that's my savior. He put me on. Yeah, God will come for it all, including the beats and the hooks and the song. Yeah, God been showing me favor. He don't get the glory, then what's going on? Yeah, yeah, hold up. My biggest fence got fame, my battles got fence, my sins like a snitch or tat. I'll talk to the Lord, I don't talk no fair, so these haters can't get in my head. My biggest fence got fame, my battles got my.
Okay, I'm probably not the person you want to ask about this because see, I'm over here like, hey,
but if you so let's go back to the Cardi B one. If she were to put those lyrics over doom isn't you would not, you would be like, yo, that's hard. But the next time you hear that, it's not gonna be her lyrics. The next time you hear that song, your brain is automatically going to spit Cardi B. So what I'm saying is, what are you really handing to the young people who are in the body of Christ? I'm not condemning this young woman. I don't like her music, but I follow her, I support her, I give her likes just because she's doing something positive. It is what it is. But I don't believe they're above criticism. You just proved it in real time. You are going to hear Cardi B. If she were to put them same lyrics on Fuck Nigga Free, guess what we're gonna be singing? I'm fuck nigga free. We not gonna be singing Childlike CC's lyrics.
You know what though? I might just write a Jew rap to WAP and then perform it on the next show. I'm just saying. Again, I'm probably the wrong person to be asking this.
You're not.
No, I know because I'm making your point, right? I'm making your point. But like, for instance, like I know people who don't want to listen to the secular music, right? But they grew up on it. So they know like what it sounds like. And they want to like play that. They want to get that same beat, right? Playing basketball or doing whatever. And they appreciate, when somebody comes through with some clean lyrics. Because you know how sometimes like if you listen to the clean version of WAP, see, this is the crazy thing about it. If I'm going to listen to WAP, I'm going to listen to the uncensored version of WAP. I don't want to have to skip the words. I know I'm going to hell, but it is what it is.
Damn.
Listen, it's like, no, I'm saying it to myself. Like, it's like this. Like, if I'm going to cheat and eat pizza, okay, I ain't going to put low fat toppings on that joint. I'm going to put everything I want, full fat. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to indulge, whatever. That's how I feel about music too, is don't hit me with the clean version. You know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of like it. I gave her a follow.
I'm not saying don't like it.
I like it.
Like the song. Support the song. I just told you to support it. I support her just because.
Yeah.
I don't like half the music she puts out. But you know what? Every time I see Childlike CC, I'm like, let me throw a like up on it. Sometimes I even put it in my story because she's saying something positive. But I'm also not, I'm not going to be foolish and naive and think that people are solely listening to this. They're not. They're going to go listen to Glorilla's version solely off the fact that she covered it. And if Glorilla's lyrics are harder than hers, guess who's getting put in the lineup? Glorilla. I'm just being honest, bro. She did another cover to Lotto.
Oh, really?
Guess what? I know Lotto's song more than I know her song, right? Not even because I listen to Lotto. It came up in the playlist, and I'm like, oh, I like this. It's a bop. She did it. Guess what? My mind automatically went back to Lotto's lyrics. I didn't hear nothing Childlike CC said. Nothing. I'm not saying that the girl's wrong. I'm not saying that she's sending people to hell. I'm saying we need to understand how the human brain works. What you hear first? What'd you say?
Does she just do stuff like this, like where she takes other people's beats?
Listen, she makes her own original music, and the music that she makes on its own is great.
You like that song too, or she's listening to WAP? She's like,
hell no. Don't be putting that on this child. She don't even know what WAP is. She makes her own music, But I get it because what you just said, it's a marketing thing.
Yeah.
Oh, let's draw in other people who might listen to Lotto. But they're going to listen to this one time and go right back to listening to Lotto because that's something, honestly, that's something that I need to be delivered from. Music is my escape. I cut it on when I just need a break. If it's a ratchet song and that ratchet song is like, get me in my zone, I'm going to take in everything that ratchet song is saying. It's something you have to be delivered from. And it's something that I struggle with, which is why I'm bringing this up. For people who do struggle with giving up worldly music, you're not helping yourself by putting on this song, bro. You're not.
Yeah.
You're feeding an appetite that you're trying to kill.
When it comes to music, I ain't trying to be delivered. Like, leave me at the address you originally put me at.
Goodness, bro. I talked about myself, not you.
I know. But see, here's the thing. Like, I can't get hyped to like I said, I can't get hyped to the clean music. I can't get. I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Like, there's a time.
Ty Tribbett has bangers, bro.
No, but see, like I listen, like in my car sometimes. I listen to Bryson. I listen to Tyson. I listen to Bizzle. Right. And I love their stuff, but then some old school stuff comes on and it's over. Back in the pits of hell I go.
I'm going to go live and talk about this because I'm telling you, bro, this is something I struggle with. I turn music off and I'll play gospel music.
Yeah.
I get it for a month straight. No other music. I just listen to classical, jazz, gospel. And then I hear a Christian song that's got a fire. I'm like, hey, I didn't hear J. Cole in a minute. Let me put that on.
Yeah. See?
It sends you back.
Yeah.
Think about it, audience. Just think about it.
Yeah. It sure does. You ever be like, you know, those songs we used to like dedicate to like the guys that broke? Well, you didn't go through this, I don't think, but the guys,
love my husband.
You know, the guys that broke my heart back when I was dating and stuff, and I would always like go to the radio and request a song, and it'd be like, what was that dude's name? Amen. And the song was F what I say. Dude, that song came on today while I was cleaning house. You know, I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
I bet you were.
I'm telling you. It's crazy.
Listen, man. Just think about what I said. Bryson's probably going to disagree with me. I know he is. He's going to be like, Soonie, come on, listen. This is coming from somebody who is trying to kick the desire to listen to this music.
Right.
Because I love music. I will listen to anything. Anything.
So you're saying Bryson would say that, or you're saying that's what you would say?
No, Bryson has already gone through the kicking of listening to secular music.
Right.
He's already gone through that.
But he said it was hard.
He did say it was hard. And I think he would, this is just what I think, just based off conversations we've had. He would say that I'm either judging too harshly or I'm not being fair. But I think I am fair. Y'all make fire music producing your own stuff. Covering someone else's stuff is not helping me kick the desire. All you're doing is creating more of an appetite for me to want to go listen to Glorilla and Lotto. You're not turning. Listen, young people, I'm 33. You are not fooling me or nobody else. You put this Glorilla beat on because you probably heard Glorilla and was like, ooh, I want to cover that and I'm going to put Jesus on it. I've been young before. I've been around rappers before and I grew up in church. We changed. We said, holla if you hear me. Okay? This is Cash Money and we were saying this in church. You know who made it easy for us to do this? Kurt Franklin. When he put Salt and Pepper on that fucking song, bro, that opened the floodgates. Then we started doing a thunderclap in church. We started doing all that stuff in church. I'm just listen. I grew up in the church, bro. You slap Jesus on it? Oh, it's okay. We need to go back. We need to go back to like pastors and the old saints telling you, you are in your flesh. You're out of order. Get back in line.
You know what's crazy? So today when I was sitting at the gas station because I had a tire blowout. First of all, my tire blew out in the ghetto, okay, of Arlington, Texas. In the ghetto. Okay. In the hood. So much so in the hood, okay, that my first encounter was with a woman who was a black woman who was driving around in her car, all the windows down. She had a Bible that I said it was as big as the Bible that the preacher used at the pulpit. Okay. You know, the big book. Okay. She's driving around with the book talking about, I can't save you. Jesus can save you. He's the only one. Then she started quoting the scripture. So anyways, I'm sitting there with my broke down car, okay, with the tire all busted out, waiting on the tow truck. And she comes and stops her car in front of me and she starts, screaming this stuff. And I'm like, I get you, girl. Amen, amen, amen. I'm just like going on, right? And she's like, say his name, say his name. She's like yelling at me, right? She got me screaming. I'm just like, please, Lord, can you please get this tow truck here fast? Okay. Then my son changes the tire for me because the tow truck never came because they probably don't even go to that side of the town.
Poor Mo.
And a crackhead comes wandering across the street.
Love crackheads, bro.
Right. From Larry's drive-through beer, just like across the street. He comes wandering across the street. My son's changing the tire. And he's like, hey, brother, you need some help? And my son was like, no, man, I'm good. He's like, all right, man, because I do it for my body-o. I was like, what? I was like, what? Anyways, needless to say, he was a very nice crackhead. I'm sure he was trying to make a couple bucks so he could get his next hit. Shout out to the crackheads. Okay. They're not all
Shout out to the crackheads, bro. They live for fucking ever.
Shout out to the crackhead. And you know what? I will say this. This man was very, very respectful. Very, very nice. When he came up to my car, he didn't get like right up on my window. He, stood far away enough and he just made sure I was okay. And I was like, I'm good. Then he proceeded to go across the street and have a one-man party argument with himself. Okay. So
it's the fentanyl usage I got to worry about, man. It's the meth heads and the Fenty heads. The crackheads, bro.
Crackheads are good. Yeah, you're right. Because the Fenty heads, man, they're scary. And the people that are on the bath salts, they're scary.
Bath salts. Them,
yeah.
They demonic.
Yeah. He was cool. So, yeah. Shout out to my son. Shout out to the fact that my son displayed real manly energy today. Okay. He was on the floor changing my tire. I loved it. I was like, son, this is just so, I love you. I had to hug him and I was like, I love you so much, Thank you so much. He's like, it's no big deal, Mom. He's like, I just changing a tire. And I was just like, I love you so much. Yeah.
You're such a big freaking baby, bro.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, there's women out there that their sons would never. Okay. Because they raised some pussies.
Shots fired.
Pow, pow.
Man, you're talking to a lot of women right now, man.
I'm a straight shooter. I'm a straight shooter, okay?
They're gonna be gunning for Mo. Did you call my son a P word because he can't change a tire?
Listen,
how dare you
I don't know your son's name and I don't know what the situation is, but if the shoe fits, wear it, okay? All I know is my son displayed some manly behavior today. He changed the tire for his mama. He kept me safe,
Well, shout out to your son, Evan, for changing the tire.
Shout out to Evan.
Shout out to y'all for sticking with us for almost 3 hours as we got through some of these long subjects. We'll be back on Friday, right?
Yep. We'll be back.
Hopefully. Life has been happening, you guys.
It's been lifing.
For real.
It has been lifing. You've been busy. I've been busy.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Ridiculously busy for no reason.
Yeah.
But if you guys are not busy on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have Mo stream a debate that I'm doing on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to actually be a good debate. I'm going to pick some of my debate friends, and we're going to take on some left-leaning, liberal Europeans, which will be fun.
Oh Lord.
Europeans and Australians, New Zealanders, they all have a lot to say about American politics and our country in general.
So this is going to be a debate around that?
Pretty much societal, just what's going on in America from their perspective and from our perspective.
That will be
one of the subjects is multiculturalism, which I'm opposed to. I do not believe in that. I think that it is detrimental to this country. If we keep pushing multiculturalism, then we're going to lose American culture. American culture is not multiculturalism. It's American culture.
How do you define multiculturalism?
Multiple cultures taking over and removing the essence of what America once was. An example I can give is the 4th of July. That's an aspect of multiculturalism coming in, and wreaking havoc. Now, some people will say Juneteenth is American culture. I believe so, but the people who are pushing it don't believe so. Therefore, trying to replace the 4th of July and remove what made America America to begin with.
Or how about everywhere you go, there's a translation into Spanish? What the hell? No.
Multiculturalism. That's not what makes America America.
That's right.
What makes America is English everywhere. Coors Light, Budweiser. Okay. Everybody getting together on Super Bowl, sitting down, having a beer, having food. That's American culture right there.
Yeah.
And listening to the freaking national anthem. We don't need lift every voice and sing. Get away from us with that. Multiculturalism.
Yeah.
So those will be the debate topics.
Okay. You're going to have to show me how to log on to Discord on my computer because I have it on my phone for me to stream it because I have no idea how to even get into shit over there.
I got you.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have to sit here and monitor shit because if shit starts to get real greasy over there in the Discord,
it's moderated. It won't. Okay. It's moderated.
I was about to say, I ain't trying to get nothing taken down because of y'all fools on Discord. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't be cutting up. I'm good on there.
Soonie, the other time you told me that somebody was on there spreading their booty cheeks. They can't do that.
That's not bad. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. You said y'all. And I'm definitely putting my hit dog holler. I sure enough did because y'all means y'all.
What's up, P? P late to the game. He said, that's what you hear. What is he talking about?
I don't even know. What you talking about, cuz?
America
used to be a great melting pot. All immigrants came together as one American. Exactly. You guys cater to accommodate all cultures. If you love your culture, stay and go back to where you came from. I agree. Go back to listen. Bye-bye. You want to do the bongos and the African drums? Take your ass back to Africa and figure out which part of that continent you're from.
I mean, nowhere else in the world other than the United States do we embrace other cultures the way we do. I'm not saying you can't embrace other cultures, but the way we do it is extreme. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Multiculturalism is a threat.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
I think multiculturalism in a certain way is a threat. I don't think it's all the way a threat because I love other cultures. Like, please don't take out the Indian food restaurants or the Mexican leave all those.
Food is one thing. We can have food. We can have food, but what remains at every barbecue here in America? I'm in America. I don't care what y'all say. Every time I step on foot on a base, that's considered American territory. Ribs, chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, beers, baked beans. It doesn't matter what barbecue you go to. Okay, because I have clearly white family members, black family members. Anytime I go to either one of those, we got the same thing. We have the same food. They cook it different. We're celebrating the same thing. Come on. we have American customs that we need to keep.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get rid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love when Christian rappers flip a beat, especially secular.
Yeah. See?
That's what you hear.
That's what he's
Mo
talking
proved
about.
it. But Bizzle ain't covering. He's late. Bizzle ain't covering Lotto. Bizzle is coming out on his own. I went from a truth seeker to truth speaker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I hear a Bizzle beat, I'm gonna hear Bizzle lyrics.
Yeah. You got to help me write my Jew version of WAP.
I am not helping you write that. No.
What did I say the first lines are?
I don't even
Certified
know.
Jew, everything I do.
I'm getting off here. You go figure these lyrics out by yourself.
Dope ass Ramika. What is it called?
What the fuck?
What's the shit they wear on their head?
I don't know.
The yarmulke.
She gonna put the A word in it.
Dope ass yarmulke. Listen. Stay tuned. People. Stay tuned.
Listen to come back to hear Mo's. Are you really gonna come up with this?
I think
I'm
so.
not helping you, but I will listen.
I think so. But I'm gonna have to like look up like some Jew terms because I'm just now getting, associated with my people. Since I just
If I end up dead, y'all know who did it.
Since I just learned I'm from the motherland. Yo, did you see that dude? I wanted to play it on here, but there's no way I could play it on here. But Tatum posted a short reel about it, and it was like a soldier that like set himself on fire. What the heck was that?
Just look at here. Listen.
Be careful now when you talk about this.
I know.
Okay.
Listen. This is what happens when a group of young people, because I think he was in his mid-20s, if I'm not mistaken, are aware of geopolitics. This is what happens when your soldiers read and become accustomed with what's going on in other countries, especially when they serve there. This is what happens when you handicap them and tell them that they have to you don't have to respect the person, but you better respect the position and don't come out and say anything against the president. This is what happens. I'm just saying, I'm being honest. Yeah. I think what he did was absurd, but I'm not going to say I understand because ain't no way I'm setting myself on fire for a goddamn thing.
That's crazy.
But what else was he to do? What if he were to get orders to go over there? Because it's going to happen. I know you guys saw my World War III post. NATO announced that Ukraine will be joining the UN.
Okay, I need to ask you about that. Okay, because you're a little bit more. So I watched probably about 30 minutes surrounding that statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I think he said there's no doubt that it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But we all know that in order for anybody to join NATO, there has to be like a unanimous vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in previous votes, the two countries that have kept other people from being involved in NATO were Turkey and what was the other one? Turkey and something else. There's two, right? So there's two that they don't think will ever vote for Ukraine coming into NATO. Do you think that that's a possibility, that there would be a unanimous vote from all NATO members to allow them to enter into NATO?
Yep.
Really?
I do.
Explain.
I think because organizations like BRICS are coming up, and BRICS just got way more popular because of that interview with Putin and Tucker. I think people will eventually leave NATO, because if we think about NATO's presence and what NATO has been doing in this country, I mean, not even in this country, but internationally, it's literally nothing but fanning the flames of wars that are unnecessary, pretending to be the world's peacekeeper, but never stepping in. Like NATO puts out lots of information on what's happening in the war that shall not be named right now. They put out a lot of information, but what are they doing besides putting out statistics? They don't do anything. So I think a lot of countries are going to get fed up and they're going to dip and maybe join. This is where maybe BRICS could become an issue.
Mm-hmm.
They might join forces with BRICS. But I personally think, I do think Ukraine will join, and I do think a World War III scenario will pop off. I do.
I mean, yeah,
America is helping them and indiscriminately sending money.
Mm-hmm.
Have been doing so for going on 4 years now, probably even longer than that, longer than we all been paying attention. But just saying, don't believe me. I'm just giving my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong on this, and I mean, could be proven wrong.
I agree that World War III would almost most definitely pop off if they were allowed to join NATO. I think my question is, will there be a unanimous vote? Because there has to be a unanimous vote for them to be able to join. And if those two countries, and excuse me that I can't remember, Turkey is the one I remember, do vote to allow that. The next question is, wow, how, why, what has changed now that Turkey is willing to compromise on those things, right?
Look, maybe Turkey gets what they want. Maybe America says, all right, what's in our best interest right now is having NATO around. I mean, not having NATO, but having Ukraine around. We want to push Russia away, right? What if America, because this is what America does. Let's start making deals. They did this with Ukraine. They did this with Israel. They did this with Europe. They've done this with several other countries. What if they make a deal and in exchange, you allow Ukraine to join? A scenario like that could absolutely happen.
Right.
It could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if they help in a war over in the Middle East? We already have bases over there, so it's not like we're not defending interests there already.
Or they get cut checks, right? Because that's what we do now is we just cut checks to anybody that we want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it could absolutely happen.
It's scary. It's scary. All right. Well, it's
thank you, Michelle. I'm about to get off too, but thank you. This is the main reason you guys need to vote for Trump, because he opposes NATO. Cut their fucking funding. Sorry, I had a moment, but that is the main reason people need to vote for that wretched fucking man. Yeah. Don't get online talking about discrimination no more. That triggered me to no end.
You can go. I do want to cover this Kamala Harris students getting paid thing. If you want to go, if you need to dip, you can go. I'll end the show.
Bye, guys.
You guys get to end the show with me. Hey. Get into it.
Be singing WAP with her, y'all. Be delivered.
See, now I'm about to bring up all the ratchet posts now that Soonie's gone.
Oh God. Bye.
We're gonna talk business. Bye, Soonie. We're gonna talk business. Okay, because I want to talk about this this particular article. And then I'll look through my files to see if I got anything ratchet for you guys, okay? Not ratchet, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Something Soonie would be interested in. Okay. So I stated at the beginning of the show that Kamala Harris has announced, and I'll play the video, college students will now get paid with taxpayer funds to register voters ahead of 2024. So I wanted to give Vice President Kamala, not that I think that this is her idea or anything like that, props for this, because I think it's actually a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, it'll probably be leveraged by Democrats more than it'll be leveraged by Republicans. However, it's a great idea, and I hope that people from our party, or the Conservative Party or the Republican Party, jump in to leverage what they're doing here and get in there, right? And understand that there's college students that think both ways in all different types of ways, and they can help, right? We need to reach the youth, okay? So the article states, Vice President Kamala Harris announced Tuesday that college students would be able to collect federally funded work study for registering voters. Okay, keyword there being federally funded, and it's work study. Harris's announcement of the new policy was posted on X, formerly known as, why do they have to keep saying that? The federal work study program is intended to allow students to earn money for day-to-day expenses while at college, according to the Department of Education. We have been doing work to promote voter participants for students, Harris said. For example, we have under the federal work study program, we now allow students to get paid through federal work study to register people and be nonpartisan poll workers. I don't know how I feel about that. As long as it's fair for both sides, okay? As we know, this is important for a number of reasons. One, to engage our young leaders in the process and activate them in terms of their ability to strengthen our communities. The Biden administration announced Tuesday that it would also have federal agencies promote voter registration, including posting signage, promoting vote.gov at 6,000 Social Security Administration offices, having the Department of Health and Human Services emailing voter registration information to people who acquire health insurance through Affordable Care Act, and placing vote.gov signage at national park entrances and visitor centers. The Biden administration also plans to push voter registration on 3 dates. Here are the dates. Juneteenth, the August 6th anniversary of the passage of the Voting Rights Act. Voter Registration Day, which falls on September 24th. Okay. Those are the 3 dates that they are going to push voter registration. Why on those 3 dates? I don't know. Biden won. I'm surprised they didn't have like the anniversary of January 6th in there, just, for shits and giggles. So anyways, I'll play the little video here of Kamala Harris. And then we'll see what else I got saved. Cause I save stuff for you guys that I want to like bring up that I think maybe you might like. So we'll do a little quick search through my archives here. But let me get this video out so you guys can see it. All right, here we go.
Under the federal work study program now allows students to get paid through federal work study to register people and to be nonpartisan poll workers. As we know, this is important for a number of reasons. One, to engage our young leaders in this process and activate them in terms of their ability to strengthen our community. Okay,
so again, I want to emphasize that I think the idea is a great idea, but we do know that anything that is run by the federal government, no matter what side it is, will for sure be corrupt in some way. Okay. The fact that these particular people are pushing and running this program makes me worry about the integrity of the program itself. So therefore, I started this by saying, I really hope that we also get the other side, right? The Republicans, the independents, that all those people participate in this program. Okay. So that it is a fair process, because otherwise I don't think it will be. All right. So here's a video I saved for y'all. So this is Fat Joe. As we mentioned earlier, Fat Joe copped him a pair of the Trump sneakers. Okay. But apparently he has been receiving backlash from his people, from the community. Christine said J-Lo's mad at him. I don't know if J-Lo's mad at him or what. But 2 things. I'm going to play this video so that you guys can see what he has to say, because he had to quickly come out and make it very clear where he stands on Trump. But take a good look at his, I like to call it his little Beijing beard over here. I don't know what's going on with his beard. I have never seen a beard like this. I don't know if it's spray tanned, if somebody drew it on, but Puerto Rican dudes do the most sometimes when it comes to their beards. So I don't know. So you tell me, is Fat Joe really not a supporter of Trump, or is he doing this so that he doesn't end up on the canceled list? Here you go.
Once again, I'm not a Trumper. I dislike Trump. I'm not voting for him. Not now, not never. But I'm a sneaker collector into the art, so I had to find these. Now the mayor's gonna call me. Everybody's gonna call me. and say, you wilding out, Joe. Why you got the Trump? Look, May is the first one. Joe, I'm a sneaker collector. I don't know what none of these guys did. I collect sneakers. The rarer, the better. No, I didn't pay for these sneakers. Sorry. I didn't pay for these sneakers. They knew I had to have them.
So that's not the end of the video. I'll play the rest of it. But I kind of wonder, you know how like when a makeup artist or like a makeup brand comes out with like a new product, they send PR kits to people in the industry, whether it be influencers or celebrities. I'm kind of wondering, because he says they knew I had to have them. I'm kind of wondering if it's the Trump people knew they had to have them, or he had to have them, right? Because they knew he would talk about it. I wouldn't put it past Trump to be like, hey, you know what, Joe? I don't care what you say about me. Just come out and talk about the sneakers, right? Because if people on your side see that even though you're saying you don't like Trump, but you got the sneakers, they're going to do what you do, right? That's just a thought. Again, you guys, my mind is so jaded because of the way the internet works and how people will do anything for clout and attention. I wouldn't put it past Trump that he sent sneakers to certain people to talk about, and they're getting paid for it, right? They're certainly going to get attention to their social media. It's a win-win situation. Trump gets his sneakers talked about. Joe gets talked about. Joe probably got, a little bit of change broken off by Trump. Who knows? Who knows? And here we have the Lexit movement sharing it, falling kind of directly into the trap.
Because I'm the biggest in the game.
Oh,
once again.
That was the end of the video. My bad. Anyways, y'all let me know what you think about that. Oh, so I didn't talk about this one. We didn't get to this one. But Mitch McConnell has, let me take this down really quick, has announced that he is going to step down from his position as Senate GOP leader. Now, the reason why I posted about this today was not because I was surprised, but because I saw influencers like Graham Allen and DC Drano and who's the other guy that we always complain, Benny, talking about, we did it. We made this happen. No, you didn't. The dude is like 500 years old and he's got dementia and y'all didn't do nothing. He realized he couldn't do his job anymore and he's stepping down. He's old. Okay. However, I said this on my post on Instagram, the dude that's running the country that does have dementia, okay, do something about that because he's the one that y'all haven't taken care of, okay? So let me read the article because the article says the insider guide to McConnell's succession race, okay? So there's a lot of people that are saying that a lot of people want this job and they're giving some thoughts on who they think is going to take it. So let me play his statement and then I'll read this article. So there you have it. There was the announcement. Okay. So here's what the article says. Mitch McConnell's exit as Senate GOP leader this fall officially kicks off a succession battle that has so far played out only for the back rooms of the Capitol. The Kentucky Republican isn't stepping aside until November, But 3 potential heirs have long loomed large in the Hills calculus. Somewhat confusingly, all 3 they mentioned in this article are white men. Why that matters, I don't know. They named Minority Whip John Thune, former Whip John Cornyn from Texas, and GOP Conference Chair John Barrasso. Never mind that they're all white. They're all named John. For the moment, very few GOP senators are declaring their preferred McConnell successor. Asked which of the 3 Johns he favors to be the next Republican leader, Tim Scott said, "Good question. There's a lot of people who want the job, and the race has been underway for months. So now it's going to get intense," said Josh Hawley. He also said he has no preference at the moment. I'm open to persuasion. Listen, I didn't like Mitch McConnell, but this makes me nervous, right? Because Republicans, they aren't in it to win it. They don't play smart. Okay. Who's that guy that they had kicked out of his spot? The one that was spending money on Louis Vuitton bags. God, his name escapes me. Anyways, we cheered about getting him kicked off, and then they went and replaced him with a Democrat. Okay. Now, obviously, this is a Senate Majority Leader for the Republican side, and they need to replace him with another Republican. However, we got to make sure we don't vote somebody in that is a loser. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why this thing stopped. Sorry, guys. So anyways, I'm just saying that I think that, the way people are celebrating this is kind of comical to me. You know what I mean? Because it ain't that serious, to tell you the truth. Okay, let's talk about Don Lemon. Okay, Don Lemon has been fired from CNN. They have reached an agreement for his separation since he was basically ousted since last year. The former CNN anchor and the news network reached a separation deal that would pay Don $24.5 million. Okay. The total is reportedly the amount of money Lemon, 57, was set to receive if his final contract ended in 3.5 years. Representatives for him had no comment when reached out. While we never comment on specifics of any employee contract, this story is incorrect, a CNN representative told People magazine. After 17 years with CNN, the longtime anchor announced his firing from the network on X, posted on April 2023. I was informed this morning by my agent I have been terminated by CNN. I'm stunned. Shortly after Lemon's post, CNN's public relations team released a counter statement accusing him of misrepresenting what had occurred. Don's statements about this morning's events are inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. Messy, damn, Don. The journalist separation from the network followed his exit from CNN this morning. In February 2023, Lemon received backlash for comments he made about Republican candidate Nikki Haley being past her prime. Well, he actually wasn't wrong about that. Okay, so let's give Don his flowers because he was right. He made his remarks on the politician's age during a segment on the show with co-hosts Poppy Harlow and Caitlin Kyle. Anyways, Don's rich. Okay, there's no need for me to carry on with this story, but he's rich. He's happy. He's going to go live his happy life with his husband. Okay. All right. Let me see if I had anything else. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. Okay. So y'all have probably been seeing a Dr. Phil on The View post circulate around, right? And I watched the whole interview and I was like, everybody's talking about this COVID-19 statement. But man, the statement he made about the border was even more greasy. I was like, dang, Dr. Phil, you got out of Oprah's pocket or something that all of a sudden you're actually speaking the truth. I meant to go back and research to see what Dr. Phil was saying during the pandemic. And if he was speaking the truth on all these things before, or if something has changed. Because again, I don't have the actual clips, but from what I remember, I kind of feel like Dr. Phil has changed his tone. So I'm trying to see what happened in between. But anyways, first, let me play this first clip so you guys can get associated with the COVID-19 comment. Okay, so this is Dr. Phil schooling the View on facts about COVID-19 measures. Okay, guarantee you Dr. Phil will never be invited back to the View again. Never. Okay, so first I'm going to show you this comment, and then I'm going to show you what he said about the border.
08, 09, smartphones came on, and kids they stopped living their lives and started watching people live their lives. And so we saw the biggest spike and the highest levels of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and suicidality since records have ever been kept. And it's just continued on and on and on. And then COVID hits 10 years later, and the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%.
So I want to explain what he said there, because I think a lot of people miss that. He said referrals dropped 50 to 60%. Okay. So what that means is because of the COVID measures that were put into place, keeping kids at home, there were less referrals to agencies that investigate issues of abuse at home or neglect at home, because these kids were not at school. Okay. Now, I know that a lot of people have a lot to say when it comes to talking about the public school system, and that's fine. Say whatever you want about it. But the truth of it is there's a lot of great teachers out there that really care about their students. Okay. There's a lot of kids that go to school and it's probably the only meal that they have, the only human connection that they have, right? And if a teacher or an administrator or a principal notices that something is not quite right about a student, they have a duty to report it, okay? So because these kids were at home being either self-taught or home-taught, those reports went down. Okay. And that's important to know, because years from now, they're going to paint it and say, oh, look, because kids were homeschooled because of COVID, look at the statistics. We had less reports of child abuse, less reports of child neglect, and they're going to paint it in that way. But I want you to think about it in the way that I explained it to you. That's not a good thing. Okay. It's not a good thing. Of course, you don't want there to be a lot of issues that have to be reported, but it was the only opportunity that some of these kids had to be seen by somebody else outside their house to make sure that everything was on the up and up. Okay.
Yeah.
They were trying to save kids' lives. Remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this. So it wasn't, people weren't laying around eating bond, but well, you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because
the look he's giving her right here, and I'm sorry because you guys can't see that because the little pause button or whatever is right here, but the look he shot Whoopi when she started to say that, I was like, ooh, because Whoopi came in hot, like she got really, really defensive, and she said, hey, we knew a lot of people that died, and they were doing this in the best interest of the kids. And he just looked at her like, do you really believe that? Are you really believing the bullshit that's coming out of your mouth?
Kept them out of the places that they could be sick, because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
She was surprised. And she said, are you saying no school children died of COVID? We all know that there was a lot of reports of people dying from COVID, right? You got a paper cut and died from blood loss, and the cause of death was listed as COVID death. Okay, because we now know that hospitals and doctors were basically getting payouts for inflating the reasons, basically. And I can't talk too much about it. I'm already getting too far into it because I don't want to get my channel banned. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Well, Phil?
So this is what made me think, was the claps at the end made me think, oh, that's a studio recorded clap. Because my question is, that audience claps for the bullshit that comes out of these girls' mouths every day, and they clapped for what Dr. Phil said, which is like great if there were real people clapping for that, because they should be clapping for that. But this is The View after all. Okay, so it makes me wonder. All right, so let me now show you guys the post that I put up, and of course, since I put it up, several people have stolen it.
Primetime show called.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you what they're talking about here. So Dr. Phil is coming out with a new network called Merit Street Media, where he's going to have several types of shows. And he was asked about one of the shows he's doing where he goes and visits the Mexican border. And they asked him about what he observed when he was there. So take a look.
Dr. Phil Primetime. And for an upcoming episode, my understanding is that you went to the southern border. Now you're saying that you're going to give people facts. What did you take away from that experience, and what kind of reporting are you going to be bringing back from that experience?
I'll tell you a fact I took away. I talked to the head of all the border guards down there, the head of the union. I asked him straight up, kids are coming over the border with numbers written on them, phone numbers and addresses. Mm-hmm. Do we check those out? He said, well, we call them. Is it possible that we're sending them into known prostitution rings or sweatshops? He said, it's not possible. It is absolute. We are using American tax dollars to ship children into known prostitution and sweatshops.
Some children.
Well, who knows?
Okay.
We don't know. I said, are you?
So what kind of checking do they do? So
they call the number and say, do you know about this child? They say, yes. Will you receive them when they come? Yes. I said, is it possible that that's a prostitution ring? He said, we know enough to know that in a number of cases, it has turned out to be absolute sex ring. It has turned out to be an absolute sweatshop. I said, how is this possible?
Well, what do they do?
And he said, it is happening.
What do they do then if they know that that's happening? Where is the U.S. Attorney's Office? Where's the...
Here's the
good question.
You have to re-ask that question when we...
Primetime show called Dr. Phil Primetime. And for an
So you saw Soonie ask, where's the U.S. Attorney's Office? What are they doing about it? She then, after the commercial break, says, has the Biden administration been made aware of it? Yes, you idiot. They're very aware of it. Like, this is how clueless it really was. And they got super nervous about the fact that he was talking about this. And I don't know how he was even able to get this far, but the people in the lady's ears must have been screaming, like, cut to commercial break, change the subject, because he was spitting facts, okay, about this. And it's very, very sad. It's very, very sad that I hope people heard that the Border Patrol agents themselves confirmed that without a doubt, the majority of these kids that are coming across the border are going into child trafficking or prostitution or whatever it is, that we are sending them directly in there. And for her to say, oh, well, we should look into this stuff. You know, did you not just hear him say the Border Patrol agents have become processors? They're basically admins. They don't have time to properly look into all these things because you guys have overwhelmed them at the border with people to process. It's ridiculous. And I'm surprised that that this particular the clip hasn't gone more viral than this, because I think it's probably the more prolific stuff that I heard on that interview. Because, the COVID stuff, it was like, yeah, we all know that. And it's the same about the border. But man, the facts that he was spitting were insane. I don't know. I know there's not a whole lot of you guys on here still. I don't know if you guys saw my comment that if you guys somebody could please comment, because I haven't seen a comment in a long time, and that is just very, very odd. Very odd. Actually, I think that is all that I had on my list of stuff. So with that being said, I want to remind you guys to please come back on Friday. We're going to have Soonie, and hopefully we'll also have Jerron back. He was celebrating his anniversary with his wife, so I believe that they took a trip to Mexico. But I think we'll have him back. So make sure to come back on Friday. I know today's Wednesday. We did our show a little bit late, but we will have a show on Friday. We are going to try moving forward not to delay any shows, but please understand, guys, family comes first, always. And if we need to move stuff around, we will. Or if we need to cancel a show, we will. We love you guys, and we miss you guys when we're not on the show. But it is what it is. So everybody have a good Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's almost Friday. And I can't wait to see you guys very soon. All right. Bye, guys.
Patriotic song.